the same.
There we go.
Lloyd.
Oh. It's brilliant. It's the best thing I've ever seen. There we are. We're live now. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to Taking Retro Liberties. You bunch of filthy animals.
Yeah.
Stu, your pictures.
There we go. I thought he's back.
He's trying to fucking duck it lower, you know, so he hasn't got to show his double chin. You know the fucking deal, mate.
Just grow a beard, it hides it. I did grow a beard, actually.
Or just
shaved
cover
it off.
the face completely.
Yeah, no, I can't go out the sides. That's the problem.
Pete, how many beverages have you had?
Who's that?
More than he's had baths this week.
Oh, mate, I'm on my fifth now, mate. I've had 4 bottles of real ale, and now I'm on Coors Lights. How fucking faggot is that?
Coors Light's all right. Coors Light, that's like piss water.
Oh, yeah, that's it. I don't want to embarrass myself. I spent last time not
Jim,
drinking.
you're back. You're actually moving now. Yeah, I know. I can see you. Who's looking after? Who's watching the comments? Mark's on questions. Yeah. I can do comments if you want.
Go on, do comments, Mark. I can't fucking see.
All right, I'll do comments. I have got comments next to me as well in case we lose them. So I've got it running live next to me.
Mike, what are you drinking? A fucking bottle of Cabernet?
I'm on Taurus, and I got a really
crap with a liver.
Really crap bottle of wine. I bought it at a meal, and it was so bad. I had one glass and took the bottle thing.
He's going to be swigging it out of a bottle.
Are you on the beer, Mark?
What?
You on the beer?
Strongbow.
How many?
Still a drink now. First one, I've got to stay relatively.
Oh, mate, it won't be long then, Mark, until you've got a hoover on your cock.
Right,
you do your best work when you're 3 sheets to the wind.
Get him down, you kids. Oh, well. Get him down here.
Mike, he's only interested when he's pissed. When he's sober, he's a boring bastard.
When he starts off, he's like, right, we can't say this, we can't say that. And then after about 4 or 5 beers, he's the instigator, isn't he?
It has been said before, that.
And gets the hoover out.
Dane, what are you having, man?
Shitty Heineken, but it was free.
Well, that's good, Steve. What about you, kiddo?
I ain't got anything yet. I'm going to get drink in a minute.
Well, you fucking best do. Get the beers to get your beer.
Give me 2 seconds and I'll be back.
This is TRL, motherfucker.
We're like fucking Steve. You can't.
Don't you just show your wife and she brings it?
Yeah. Just bang on the door.
You coloured him into drinking now.
Steve's a progressive, isn't he? He doesn't have to do anything.
You've got a driveway now.
It's equality.
Steve will come back with non-alcoholic Becks. You watch.
But before he does that, he's got to change the kids' nappies. Let's not forget.
Anyway, welcome. Who have we got? I'm definitely said we got Pete. We've got Let's Talk Retro. So that's either James or Colin. I'm assuming it's James. And AD Gamer. Oh, he's talking about bloody Resident Evil 2, for fuck's sake.
Where's Dylan? Where's Dylan? Is Dylan in yet?
Oh, I'm Vidya Gamer.
I know, I'm sick of Resident Evil. I haven't even played it yet.
There we are. This one. It doesn't fucking work on my PS4. Yeah. Have we got any questions then, or are we just winging it, or what? Mark's got some questions to reel off.
Off them. Hang on, where's Steve back yet? Need Steve.
Can't we have someone English reading them out?
Shut up, you jipper. Right, where's Steve now? Brewing his Earl Grey.
He's making the tea and then he'll be back.
Well, we might as well wait, haven't we?
The best.
Fucking hell, that's a way to lose bloody watchers, have we?
Right, okay, well, I'll fire a question in and then he can answer last. Right, what's the most amount you'd be willing to spend on a game? Which one would it be?
That's his question. Well, he's a rich fucker anyway, so we might as well go from the lowest up. So Pete's £2.50.
Oh, well, I'm fucking free, mate. Unless it costs nothing, I don't want to fucking know. Or it's got to be pennies, isn't it? At the car boots,
No.
look at it.
You buy Switch games, you fucker. How much do you pay for them?
Well, yeah, 50 quid to be fair. I pay top dollar if it's something I want. Like, you know, Mario U.
Hang on, Pete. Hang on. Let's stop you there.
Go on then.
Right, so we've just talked about retro. You've sort of said, oh, no, I don't like paying, I want it for free. But then you're willing to pay £50 for a new game, which is going to depreciate. The ass are going to fall out of it within like fucking 6 months. It's going to be worth a tenner. So you're willing to lose 40 quid on a new game, but you won't spend a little bit more money on a retro game.
Shall I tell you why?
Nintendo tax.
There you go. I mean, the thing is, the Nintendo Switch for me, I've had it from day one, and I'm going to keep it. You know, it's not something I'm ever going to get rid of, and I'll just wait till it appreciates. And I probably won't ever get fucking rid of it. A lot of the other stuff, I've started to get rid of quite a lot of it because I just simply don't have the room.
Yeah.
You get rid of that Mr. Blobby behind you.
Oh, well, fucking hell, it's not worth anything, Mark. If it was worth anything, it'd have fucking gone long ago. She brings stuff in all the bloody while.
I said buy the place.
When it's a game that you want to play, and there's not that many, to be honest with you, I don't mind paying out because the depreciation level is only within a 10-year span. So after that 10-year span, the Nintendo starts to creep up. But of course, again, Switch has got, you know, I'm going to be at least 60 by the time it's worth anything next time round.
Have you or anybody else coined in on the old the game 50% off on the Wii U titles?
Oh, I don't know about that, Stu. Only because they keep re-releasing the buggers.
Exactly.
That's the
Someone
only
was on about the other day.
What's that? Was that Game the Store?
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't what's his name? Is it Craig?
Scott.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah,
that one?
Glory Hunter.
Yeah. He doesn't spend a lot of money. He's got a massive collection, and but you don't spend money. But yeah, he done a load of 50% off on a PS3 and all that, didn't he? This week.
No, well, it was
Wii U. Scott got Glory Hunter.
Yeah,
because he got Donkey Kong Country, was it, or something like that?
Yeah.
But they got him out the back. They hadn't got him on display, if I remember him, because he asked if they got any other titles.
Isn't in CX they're really cheap in CX at the moment?
No, it's the other way. The cheap in game, Mike. Game are doing 50% off.
Yeah, but
Wii U titles.
Game
yeah, but you could buy them and then trade them to CEX and make money.
Only a couple of quid on each one, but I mean, if you're buying hundreds of quid's worth, you're going to make hundreds of quids on top. So,
so
look at that, actually.
Is anyone going to answer the question other than Pete then?
Well, I don't really sort of have a limit.
Yeah.
if it's something I want to buy, then I really want it. I will pay the money for it, and I've overpaid for things I want, which is a stupid thing to do. This is more when I first started collecting, or probably about 3 years into it. So I probably don't have the excuse there. But yeah, I mean, like my Ghouls and Ghosts cost me nearly 200 quid. I'll never get that money back on that. But it was when I was looking to buy one, they had ones for 60 quid that looked like they'd been kicked up and down the street, and this one was like brand new quality. But since then, you could probably get one in the same sort of condition between like 70 to 100, I'd say, and I paid like nearly 200 getting in a bidding war with someone. Same with Street Fighter 2. I think I paid 120 for that. It's not worth that in that condition, really. But they're all sort of mint conditions. So, but most I have paid is probably a couple of £100 plus. But you know, looking at, I'd like to do this year, maybe do some of the Japanese titles, Mega Drive shooters, and you're talking half a grand, 800 quid with some of those. But I won't use them and sell stuff in my collection to fund them.
Yeah. Bollocks, you lying cunt.
Silly Steve, this is your question.
What was the question?
Mark, for Steve, so he knows.
What's the most amount you'd be willing to spend on a game, and which one would it be?
First of all,
my limit on console games or computer games is...
It's your question.
Yeah, I know. I should have thought about it, really, shouldn't I?
He didn't think he was going to be involved, did he?
No.
Someone bring Gareth back, for fuck's sake.
Right. I would say around for the most I've paid on a console game is just over 300 quid. And that was my
Soldier.
Crest. No, Demon's Crest on the SNES.
Oh yeah.
Is it PAL?
No, it's NTSC.
Cool, I saw you coming.
Nah, it weren't a bad price.
250's going, right?
No, not in this condition. It's a nice game.
A couple of years back as well, wasn't it, Steve? As well.
Say that again.
A couple of years back as well. That was.
That was about a year ago.
Yeah.
About a year ago. So no, I would say my limit at the moment, console games 300. Obviously, arcades are completely different. I won't even get into that. But yeah, I would say about 300. I don't want to. I've got my eye on a few at the moment, and I think 300.
Like what though? So your question is, what was the maximum would you pay, and what would it be? So you're saying 300. So what falls into that bracket?
At the moment, I would love Twinkle Tail.
Yeah.
Japanese Mega Drive.
Right.
I think that's around 400 or 500 quid.
Yeah. To 8.
I'm reluctant, but if it came up for 3, 4, I'd probably pull the trigger. So yeah, probably around 3, 4 for me.
Yeah, mine's sort of around that price. I'd say 250 to 300 for a console game, but it's all about condition, innit? You want it absolutely spot on. If you're going to pay top dollar, it wants to be A1 condition. I paid $220 for Sengoku Anthology on PS2. That's most I've paid for a game, believe it or not. And it's one fucking probably shittiest machine ever, isn't it, really, for buying games? But yeah, I couldn't bring myself to pay more than 300 for the game, unless it were like Neo Geo. But you know,
I'd have to like I say, I'm really looking at doing Japanese shooters on Mega Drive, and you are sort of talking sky high money. Like, you know, you've got that Cotton, Twinkle Tail, there's that. I mean, like Elemental Master, you got that this week, didn't you?
Yeah,
Steve. But some of them are reasonable, but some of them are like £500 to £800. Some of them are over 1,000, 1,200 quid.
Yeah. The thing is, when you buy some of these games, you're not really losing money to a certain extent, unless you're a bit silly with it.
Yeah, the higher value things, I think, hold their value, isn't it? We've sort of had this discussion.
I would have said the higher value stuff at the moment is probably leveling. It sort of fluctuates a little bit up and down.
Yeah.
But it's not really getting. You're never going to lose that much money on it. I mean, the arcade stuff you'll never lose money on unless it breaks. You don't lose money on it. So it's just like an investment now. I don't really think of the money anymore, really.
Yeah, but Steve, it's only an investment for so long, isn't it? You know, it's only going to be. It's like Hornby fucking train. Like I keep saying, it's only going to be an investment for a certain period.
So I'm not so sure, Pete. I'm not so sure. I think with gaming, it's done full circle. So people, like kids now, they're playing retro games. So when they're older and want to relive their youth, it's still going to be the same sort of retro games, no?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at markets and how the market goes with, you know, frivolous activities. And it seems to, you're right in a way, because gaming is massive. But I think that the young kids of today aren't going to want to see 16-bit. You know, like the generation fucking Z are going to think it's like when we look at Atari 2600. But I could be wrong. We'll have this conversation again in fucking 20 years and see how it goes. Refer to this live stream.
Yeah, definitely.
I love how Mike's fridge door just swings into shots. So, Steve, is that so? When you said that arcade stuff, if it breaks, is that repairable?
Yeah, majority. Yeah, I mean, you've got some PCBs that have custom chips, which are a nightmare. But I think a lot of people going down the FPGA route at the moment. So it's not really emulation; it's sort of one-on-one boards, like to keep some of this stuff going. But no, it is fair. Yeah, a lot of it's repairable. A lot of it's just like capacitors, things like that, more often than not.
But the FPGA though, Steve, it is emulation, because it's emulating the actual core system.
To a certain extent, yeah. To a certain extent, I'll give you that, yeah.
But I think with the arcades, I think the way I always sort of justify it, it's more about the experience rather than the ownership, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you mean the experience than the only?
If you had Ridge Racer, so you had Ridge Racer in the cabinet, you could have the arcade PCB, right? You could hook that up to a fucking PS2 controller, and it'd play.
Yeah.
It's Ridge Racer in the arcade. If you put it into a cabinet with all the force feedback and everything else, it's an experience.
Of course, yeah. No.
Same with Point Blank.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's where VR always had its thing. It's more about experience rather than the gameplay. Especially the earlier stuff. The early VR stuff was shit, but it was the experience of it.
I mean, there's some good games though. I mean, obviously you get an experience, but the games are good as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
I mean, the earlier stuff. I mean, I'm not really into like the newer drivers or anything like that, but the earlier stuff. But I think arcades, to a certain extent, is. I mean, just like retro gaming now, it's as if like the box is worth more than the game itself.
Yeah.
And you can imagine with a lot of the arcade stuff, it's like the cabinet's worth more than the actual PCB, the game board.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I mean, that's the only thing that's really going to break is the game board or the monitor. Really, there's nothing. Everything else is replaceable. Power supplies and that. It's not much to it.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be original, Steve, would it?
No, but that's what I'm saying, though, Mike. I think for me, the arcades has always been about the experience. I know there's one project, isn't there, for pole position. I know that John's Arcade and one of his mates or whatever he's doing.
One circuit.
Yeah, and he's doing the FPJ for that.
Yeah,
and that it just preserves the experience. And you can transpose that into a machine.
It goes to a conversation me and Steve had. So I was saying that there was, if I could buy a new cabinet that looked the same as the old cabinet, and it run just like the cabinet,
but more efficiently.
Steve said there wouldn't be. He didn't reckon there would be. Because I'd rather buy a brand new arcade that worked properly.
Exactly.
Buy an old arcade.
And more efficiently, that didn't break down. Yeah, they didn't have all the faults. Yeah, old school experience with new school tech.
Yeah. So they could build new ones with like totally the same as what they built, but new. And I said I'd rather have that than an old cab because it would be more reliable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people that collect arcades, Mike, wouldn't want that. Would they? They wouldn't want the new tech.
That's the purist, isn't it, though, Mike? Yeah. That's the purist.
But I bet that's what majority are, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the same position we're in now with EverDrives, where people sort of say, I want to play it on the hardware, i.e. the machine, but I don't want to own the cartridge, which is more expensive, i.e. the software. It's exactly the same principle.
But if the hardware was reproduced exactly the same, but it was all just new...
It's just wood. It's just wooden bolts, isn't it?
Yeah. It's all plywood. Eventually,
I think it's the CRT that makes a big difference for me. I mean, if they started putting CRTs back into production, I would half agree with you.
About a massive miss market, but I think there would be a market for someone to do decent CRTs now.
No. One day, Mike. One day, somebody will bring them back.
I'm guessing they're more expensive to make though, compared to LEDs and LCDs.
Much more expensive to make.
Yeah.
Stuart, you haven't answered this, by the way. This question.
What was the question?
Your question was it the most expensive?
I did. I said between 3 and 4.
Stuart answered
it. Is your wife watching?
Yeah, I'm at a weird position now because obviously I have to spend big to finish a certain set, the Mega Drive. So I can't sort of say I only spend £100 or whatever. So I may have dipped into that pot already, but it still wouldn't be the most expensive bought, which would have been Smurfs, Travels the World on Master System, £220. So I'm still below that limit. So 220 is still the most I've spent. I think Mega Man Wily Wars and the Mega Drive will be the most expensive that I'd have to buy.
Have you got what is it, Stuart, for Mega Drive? That's Maximum Carnage.
Yeah.
What did you pay for that? If you don't mind me asking.
Very little. About £70. £75. CX.
Is that one of the ones you ordered in the week? Is it, Mark?
Oh, don't bring that up. Come on, dear. I know you have to wind me up. That's too raw. It's too raw, mate. Don't do it to me.
You're killing him
now. Most I'd spend £50 because I'm tight. Even now, I've got like 300 odd quid's worth of credit in CX, and I'm looking how many £30 games I can get with that.
Yeah.
I just don't see them worth. You know, there's I want Saturday Night Slam Masters on the SNES, but I won't pay the money for it.
It's worth. Look, the thing is, like, of anything in the world, I've said this for years now. It's worth what anyone's willing to pay for it. You can't. No one can sort of say it's worth this much. You could say market values that, but to somebody else, it could be worth double that.
Yeah,
it's only what someone else is willing to pay. That's the end. That's the long and short of it. If it's worth it to you and you're happy with paying that price, fuck them. Fuck everybody else. It doesn't matter.
There you go, Dean. That's just for you. He's gone as well, hasn't he?
Oh, Mike. That's a US one, though.
No, it's not. Oh,
is it not?
Yeah, he swapped it, didn't he, at Revival?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't swap it. I bought it. Fucking about 100.
No, but you had the NTSC version, which you intend on getting rid of. So you bought that one.
Yeah, I've got the Japanese version. So
sorry,
I mean,
Japanese.
Yeah,
right.
he done me a wicked deal on that though. He's a fantastic guy.
Have we been around that one for everybody? That question. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let's go to the comments because there's a few people have joined. I'm going to try and rattle through these. First up, Pete on a retro tip. AD Gamer. Let's talk retro. James, I'm assuming, or Colin. Vidya Gamer. He's an American guy. Nice to see him on here. Raz Nintendo. Raz Tendo. Who else have we got? We've got Scott Sega Saturn Lad. Steve, 80 Seeker Freak.
Hey.
Christopher. We've got Paul, Mr. Bads. We've got Holster. Holly's in the house. JW, nice to see JW. He's the guy with the N64 logo. I think Monocot. Don't know who he is, but he's and the Wise Monkey quadruple eight. Not even triple eight, it's quadruple eight. Is that Wise? Oh, and Guns 7469.
That's the most you've ever had in, isn't it?
Sun's out, guns out.
We've got 26 people who've not gone out tonight.
And in terms of the chat, they're just talking about Arcade Club, which we'll come to later. They're asking about Paul. Does Mr. Bads have an Instagram account? Because he's such a legend. Yeah, I think they're just basic banter between themselves. Chris is saying VR's experience for an individual. I would tend to agree with that. I think it's a lot of it is stuff is to experience it rather than to own it.
That new what's the new one just come out on PS4 VR? Air Combat 7, is it?
Ace Combat.
That's supposed to be unreal. Really, really good. That's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Send it back, mate.
What the fuck ain't that work?
I'll have to download it, mate, because I can't bloody play it, innit?
Oh, hang on, we did have one conflict. James says it is James. He paid £75 once for Street Fighter 2, the SNES. I think a lot of people paid that, mate.
Yeah,
that was a given.
But
Pete's saying £100 is the absolute limit for him to pour himself out on at Arcade Club for an hour.
Just a quick question: is that ass or mouth?
Both. No, actually, it's all rolling down now. We've got Jay Cyber Snakes in the house. Gashead Steve.
How's he getting on with that PS1 Mini?
I don't know.
He's having some problems. Gashead with the new mod.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I've not even looked at that. You know what? I said to you guys before, having everything hanging out the fucking front of the PS1 Mini, it doesn't. That for me, there's no point in it. What's the point of having?
It's no favours.
It looks stupid. It looks fucking ugly.
The back. You'd rather have it hanging out the back, wouldn't you, Stu?
Well, I always had it hanging out the back, Dane. You can always hide that. But when it's out the front, everyone can see it. It's just stupid. Until they can flash the NAND, there's no point. Let's have big people even on about having you can hook an external CD-ROM to it. Why? Why would you want to do that? Or because we can.
What dictates whether it needs an external power source or not? Then compared
because it's the port. It's like what Cindy Steve had in his video about the Game Gear. and the flash cart. If it pulls too much power, everything out it drains a lot of it. So in terms of the USB ports, I think they're only like so many voltages, and once you start trying to draw too much off it, it kills it. So you have to have a fucking hard drive that's plugged in, along with a fucking USB hub. It looks stupid. It justifies the point of the whole thing.
You know, the best thing to do with them is modify the bloody case and put a bloody pie in it.
Well, maybe that's by the by, isn't it, Mike?
No,
but
what I meant is the actual unit itself. You know, compared to SNES Mini, why is the PS1 Mini have to have its own power source?
Because the SNES Mini doesn't. Because you can flash the NAND.
Ah, yeah.
You don't have shit hanging off the back of the SNES or NES Mini, do you? You don't have to put external shit hanging off it.
Anything there. No,
You don't put anything externally. It's all there. That's why. So anyway, that's.
But why? But why? He keeps asking. But why, Tooth?
No, leave me alone. I don't know who you people are.
Why? Right, question 2. Ready?
Yeah.
Best game you can think of under a tenner.
Oh God.
God, it's going to be loads, isn't there?
Everything. Everything's under a tenner. Any retro game.
The best one you can think of.
Under a tenner, I bought this week Fire and Ice on the Amiga. Thank you, Michael.
Oh,
yeah, is it a good game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I've got it. I'll do an unboxing live later. No, I won't really. I've got to save that from a channel, man. I need some fucking material. But yeah, man, any game.
Yeah, but no, I think it means games that you can regularly pick up for under a tenner, though.
Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion.
Yes, good one. Mega Drive.
Really good.
Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or 2.
Mm.
Both probably under a £5.
You'd be lucky for 2, wouldn't you? Getting 2 under a tenner now.
I don't know.
Really?
Plenty about. You get it with manual for about £7.
Can you?
Yeah.
More than that now.
I'll tell you what, I'll sell you some for a tenner if you want, Mark.
I've got it, but...
You do your bulk deal, £5 each. So
Can you say a bank transfer?
Because I know I've got about 4 listed for £4 in my box. So if you want to buy them for a tenner, crack on. PayPal me.
Friends and family, Dana.
See, I wasn't going to go that far.
You waiting.
Fucking tax dodging bastards.
Pete's not about that. Oh, Pete doesn't know the story.
Oh no, I don't. You can tell it later.
Yeah. Okay. It's raw. It's still raw. It's even rawer than Pete's offer. What did Pete say?
This is going to be the hardest question for Steve to answer.
£100 gets the whole day in any hole.
Well, I'm going to take him up on that. I mean, nice chocolate finger time.
You get a little rusty trombone.
Pete's cheap, man. He's a cheap man.
He wants to do some docking.
A lot of Romanians are quite cheap, aren't they? Oops.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say this now because we're talking about Pete. I still think, I said this to other people, Pete is like the white version of Chuka Umna from the Labour Party.
but he's coloured in, isn't he?
Chuka Umna's coloured in, yeah. I watched him on Parliament. I thought, I recognise that guy. I thought, no, it's not Pete. It's actually Chuka Umna.
I got to watch it. I got to look that up afterwards. I got to see what this guy
He's a great politician, Mike. You'll be right into him. He's dead progressive, just like you.
We've got beeps. We've got beeps. Beeps in the house. Oh dear. I can't know what the question was now.
Games under a tenner.
For under a tenner.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Uncharted 2 is a great game. You can get it for about £2 or £3, can't you?
What's that?
Uncharted 2 on the PS3 for about £2 you can get.
What, the movie?
What about Super Mario Land Loose Car? Can you get that under a tenner?
Yeah.
You can probably get Mario World for a £5. No, is it gone up now or is it down?
About £8.
About £6.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game for £8.
Yeah, it's got a bit better game then.
Mm.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
Great coasters.
I am genuinely stuck on it as well.
What about Soul Calibur? Soul Calibur, that's about what, £8, £9?
What, on Dreamcast?
Yeah.
That's a great game. It's probably the best beat 'em up on Dreamcast, isn't it? If not one of the best beat 'em ups ever released.
Without a doubt, one of the
3D
best.
ones.
In the top 5, even.
Surely there's a shit ton of Master System under a tenner as well.
All rubbish games, though.
That's what I'm saying. There's fucking probably tons. I'm trying. I think Psycho Fox is under a tenner now.
No, that's crap.
No
That's
way,
a brilliant game, that is.
That's expensive. Once you get it,
No, it's dropped at CEX. Well, look, the other day, I'm pretty sure it's on the tenner mark.
seriously,
Seriously, I paid 20 for mine.
that is a great game, by the way. If once you get the hang
I
of
haven't
the
got. I've got it
logistics-
cart only. I've got it cart only.
I don't know. I was just scrolling through the other day when I was looking for my £30 games going cheap. I got Psycho Fox anyway because that genuinely was my favourite when I was a kid.
I'll tell you what. Excuse me. I bought some off CX earlier. I was looking at some of the prices of some of the Mega Drive stuff, and one game. It's not a great game, but it stood out for me. I bought The Little Mermaid for £8. It's now up to £12. It's actually gone up to £12.
That's a decent price. I remember it being 20 to me because that's one I never had. Honestly, I remember a couple of years ago it being about 20 quid.
Psycho Fox, Ben is right. Psycho Fox box is a tenner. Mint, it's 22.
Hashtag winning. I know my shit.
Yeah,
and I'm cheap as fuck.
But we'll talk about this on Retro now. In terms of pricing.
Only 12 months ago.
SNES and NES has definitely sort of plateaued. I don't say it's dropped, but I think it's plateaued a little bit. But Mega Drive has gone. It's gone fucking nuts.
Well, I've been selling my Mega Drive collection,
I
and I'm selling 2 games a day at well over what I paid for them. Well over.
What I'll say with the SNES stuff at CX, you know that bundle I bought just before Christmas? Literally every single one of them games that was SNES, at least £4 cheaper now, at least.
Has Mark answered?
Huh?
Has Mark answered?
Yes.
Games under a tenner.
Super Mario World, loose cat.
Oh, right. Okay.
I discovered a new game last night, Stuart, that I didn't even know existed on Mega Drive, thanks to Steve enlightening me.
What?
I thought it would. They only had hardcore, Contra Hardcore on NTSC. I didn't realise Probotech had a PAL release.
Yeah, I've got both.
Yeah,
It's a lot better on the American
quite
one.
expensive, like 90 quid.
it's fucking well expensive. Mint now is looking at over 200, you know, for that game.
Well, for Protector.
Yeah.
No, I bought that cheaper than that.
Nah, boxed it's 90 on CEX because I saw it the other day.
Yeah,
I think Mark's on about.
He's on
eBay.
about mint condition He's on about mint condition, isn't you?
Yeah.
I bought my box one for 130.
What's
If anyone wants to buy my one for 200 quid, they're more than welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll give you a £5, Mike. That's only
Were those games you bought the other day, Mark, mint condition, like no marks on them and you couldn't see anything?
Leave it out.
No,
Yeah, come. I'll be seeing you next week.
You see me before them games, that's for sure.
Never do deals outside of eBay, you fucking disgusting people, even to consider it. Just look, if you're doing anything, do one thing that's going to be good for you tonight. Subscribe to a channel. He knows what he's talking about. He's called the No Nonsense Reseller. It's all about how to make a bit of money on YouTube.
Shameless plug.
It's like I was saying to Mike, though, right? What's thrown me is because the retro gaming community and your Facebook groups and all the rest of it, we're all so fucking genuine and honest. This is what's thrown me. This guy knows his shit. He's been researching what these top games are. He's gone into it.
Mark, you just need to know about human society and people. Most of them are cunts, mate.
Yeah.
Mate, you've got to move away from the Labour Party. You know what I mean? Just stop being so nicey, my friend. Get red pilled, as I say.
Yeah,
But
well,
that's the thing is, like, no matter what, you know, not most people play games nowadays, don't they? And I reckon 9.5 people out of 10 are cunts. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we've got a good bunch of friends here, and like you say, in the communities that we're involved with, we'll meet up and all that. Like you say, we've got some good people on board and all that. But the whole world as a whole, there's a lot of people out there that is just out to tuck people up. They don't care about anyone. Like, you know, they really don't.
No, it could be anything, Mike. It could be selling coins. You could be selling fucking stamps. You could be selling old train fucking sets.
all it was, I didn't listen to my own golden rule. When something's too good to be true, it usually is. That's all it was. That's simple. All it was, right?
We've all done it, Mark. I've done it. I've been involved in a situation. I thought this ain't good here, and I've still gone through with the situation. It's ended up biting me. Like, you know, you got to listen to like your spider senses, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? If your spider sense is tingling, you got to stay away from it. Like,
But
you know?
what you've got to do, Mark, and the most important thing is revenge is a dish best served cold, of course. So you fucking find out where they live and you fucking destroy their life, my friend.
I know, but I've got no.
Slash on the tyres, see the kids going to school, say, I know your daddy, he's a nice man, keep going back, right? Really fuck them up. Mark, consider it. You've got 10 years. Hurt them, and hurt them badly. Destroy them. But,
Anyway.
you know, beyond all the silliness, it's not on, it's disgusting. So there you go.
Let's move on.
But if I start a pyramid system, you're the first person I'm flogging to.
I know.
This time next year, Mark, we're
Yeah,
really
I didn't expect any sympathy, but I didn't realise you'd stick a hot knife right in my belly, mate. Either.
Oh, dear.
Mate, you gotta know it was coming. You might as well sit on that fucking shelf with the rest of my mug collection.
Well, the mic has been dropped down. Oh dear. It's not on. No, but the thing is that it's not on though, because Mark's got a family to look after, and this is fucking money. All right. So beyond all the fucking jokes and piss taking and having a laugh, it's not
that means
on.
shit to scammers and Dana.
It's not on. I'm glad you can laugh about it, Mark.
You got to do. I can't do about it.
You just need to make some fake copies of them PS2 really rare games you've got, and we'll start flogging them on your store.
Right, listen, I'm going to go to question 3, Stuart's favourite. Fuck knows why it's number 3. Definition of e-bagging discuss.
No, I need a beer for this. Skip that one. Go to the next one because I'm going to go for a piss and a beer.
All right.
Fucking hell. The next one.
We'll come back to it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll come back to it.
Yeah. At what
I've got
point
these
does-
Mega Drive games. Please buy them off me. Is that e-begging?
No, shut up, you twat.
At what point does collecting become hoarding?
Right.
Mike.
Fucking hell. Yeah, right. When you're fucking surrounded by the fucking things and you can't fucking move for tripping over games.
When your bath's got the Mega games in.
They're still in there, mate. They're still in there.
Oh, fucking hell.
Mike, is it true that the freezer part of your fridge doesn't work and it's full of like the rest of your Mega Drive collection?
Keeping it on ice.
It's flat brings an whole new meaning to Aladdin's cave, man. It is fucking phenomenal to walk around that.
This is the only clean part that you can see here.
Everywhere you look, there's retro games. Everywhere you look, every nook and cranny. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hoarding, I guess, when you are collecting more or less for the sake of it. Is it? You've no intention of getting around to them.
It is almost. I was discussing with this kiddie earlier. It is almost a bit of an illness, isn't it? It's
Yeah, I think it is.
It's like me when I run out of stuff to collect for. I'll collect for someone else. It's you know, and I've had issues with other things in the past myself, and it's probably a better illness to be involved with than other things. So you know, I'm not harming anyone. I'm you know, the only person that's probably harming is myself and my bank balance. You know, so you know, it's
So Stephen Dana, is your collections contained to your games room, or does it extend beyond it? Yeah.
Nah, man. Like,
you
don't
know
forget
the
that.
answer to this. It's in the hallway. It's in the bedroom. It's in the bathroom, and it's in the living room. Stroke thingy. It's everywhere. You can't escape my game.
Yeah, but I don't mean stuff that you plan on selling at your markets. I mean stuff that you're wanting to keep.
No, I've still got stuff that I need to sort. Right, I'll go through. You know my mate Ant Harper, who does the other retro game collector channel, yeah, who did the stall next to me.
Yeah,
he jokes that my bed's propped up with retro gaming stuff, and that's not a joke. Like literally under my bed, there's like banana boxes that I haven't quite got around to sorting.
I had the bricks and mortar of his house. His retro gaming.
I went up the loft at Christmas to get the decoration down, and I found stuff that I hadn't even sorted through there.
Wow.
And then there is my stock, which is about 20 boxes of stuff underneath my stairs. And then you saw the pictures of my room in the group in the week. Like, there's probably about 5 or 6 boxes next to me. Yeah, I'll just fucking show you on the camera. Like, you know, this is the part of the games room no one sees, like the stuff that I've got.
So could there be stuff in there then that you don't even know you've got yet? You know?
Oh, definitely, man. I've bought stuff that I've fucking got. I went to bought a copy of a game, and then when I sorted through the box, I'd fucking already got it.
Here's the thing for you. I've had an electrical inspection today, so I've had to sort the place out and move a few things about and get it a bit more tidy. And I actually found another +3 I didn't know I had. So I was like, I sold 3 the other week.
Oh, it's not like a fiver, is it? Either you're talking big money there.
Well, you're talking probably 50 to a oneer in working condition, maybe more. You know. So yeah, when I go through my stuff, like, I didn't realise I had Earthworm Jim 2 on the SNES earlier, but I seen it in the cart box. Oh yeah, I got that as well.
What about you, Steve? Then is yours nice and neat and tidy in your games room, or what?
Yes, it's always tidy in the games room, unless I'm sorting things out. I mean, Mike could tell you, I sent him a few pictures of some Amiga bundles I got yesterday. I had them literally everywhere. I was testing them, and as you can imagine, games everywhere. But look at it now; it's back to normal again. But my loft is just full of games, it's full of console boxes up in the loft, usually with the consoles in. And I mean, to answer your question, when does it become hoarding? I think it becomes hoarding when you're starting to buy games that you're never going to play.
Yeah,
that's when it becomes hoarding. Like it's only been the last year or so that I'd done that. Always before, I've never bought a game that I didn't want to play, and I must admit, I've bought a few since that I thought actually probably never going to play that. Like, I've just bought a couple of Secret of the Monkey Islands on Amiga. I'm a big Amiga collector. Point and clicks are not my thing, but being an Amiga collector, I feel like I've got to have them, and maybe I will play them one day. I don't know. It
is a big part of Amiga history, though, Monkey Island, isn't it?
Huge.
It is, but what's the point of having it if you're not going to play it?
Yeah,
because it looks nice on the shelf.
It looks lovely on the shelf. It's up there somewhere.
Are we all in full control of us collecting habits?
No, I'm out of control. My collection's outgrown my flat.
What I mean is, can impulse take over common sense?
Most weeks. Most bloody weeks, mate. Yeah, it's like even like if there's something I want and it's come up and it's not usually comes up, I'll go without everything else to try and get that game, and that's a stupid thing to do, but it's what I do. It's
I think there's a fine line. So what I would sort of say to go on off the back of what Mike's sort of saying is, I think there's a fine line as well between buying shit for the sake of it and buying shit, which is what Steve's on about. If he's buying box copies of Monkey Island and the Amiga, they're worth money.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between buying stuff just to have it and keep it, and buying stuff that you know is worth something that you can then flip to supplement your collection. Now, if your collection isn't organised and it is just a fucking hoard, then that's hoarding. If I would always say, if you've got a semi, sort of organised collection or whatever, or room, then that's less hoarding.
Yeah,
when you've got shit that's just piled up in boxes, that's hoarding.
Yeah, like my room has to be practical for me to use in game, so it's got to be to a certain extent organised. Without sounding bad, Mike, you're probably the most likely one of us that I'd say it's an addiction.
Yeah.
Out of all of us, because you've said here just that you'll go without certain things to have a fucking game. Now, there's no way I wouldn't pay my rent, wouldn't have food in my fridge, wouldn't pay my phone bill and shit like that to have.
Oh no,
have
it all gets paid, but I'll get that game first and then worry about all that after.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I think it's a bit of an addiction with yourself.
Yeah,
there's a definite tipping point.
That's not me having a pop here, by the way, Mike. That's
Oh no,
that's Dave's subliminal way of having a pop at you.
The first to say myself, But I mean, like a lot of the stuff, like the stuff that's in the bathroom in the bedroom, it's not shit. It's all good stuff, and it's all worth some pretty good money. It's only
not organised.
Knocking it over and getting it bloody damaged. Like all my SNES collections in boxes at the moment. All my SNES collection, completely all of it.
But you need to get organised, Michael.
A bit, Mike. I don't think there's a collector who hasn't got OCD, but do you think you might have quite a lot of OCD?
I don't think I've got OCD. I think I may have swapped one addiction for another.
Guys, don't you think this is a bit fucking personal now?
I'm having a pop on that. I'm saying myself, I've got OCD, man. There's certain things that I can't fucking do that I'd like to do, like weird shit.
I would chip in here. I would sort of say if you haven't got OCD of some sort, then you ain't a collector.
Yeah, that's exactly what I.
The two have to go hand in hand.
To throw my 2 pence to this, I mean, I had a giant collection, giants. Not up there with Tootie or Paul, maybe, but Mr. Bads, but certainly somewhere in between. And I've siphoned off a huge amount of stuff. And what I decided to do was learn a bit more about business, because I've been into business as a youngster. And again in my 20s, but working and stuff, it takes the business acumen away. When you've got to work for somebody else, you're only focusing on what they want you to do. So what I decided to do about a year ago was clear out a lot of the stuff, and now a huge amount of it is actually meaningless. Although, do not get me wrong, some of it I want to stay and collect for. Okay. I'll stay in it for the long term because I'm into it, but it doesn't have to be a multitude of systems. It could only be like 2, 3, 4, 5. And, like the 3DS, for example, is really easy to store. So if you get a massive collection of this, you can put it all in a big box and you've got 300 fucking titles.
Yeah.
All this here is stock. Everything in this room, fuck that shit. Everything in this room is I'm prepared to sell.
Right.
It's not stuff.
Pete, stop me there. I'm just looking at the comments, and Chris Richardson, who's a stalwart of the conventions and the markets, he's basically said the easiest way to cure your illness is to become a full-time trader, aka like himself.
Well, I have thought about doing it. I'm always having an eye on with doing the stalls. Like I say, for me, like what I think, the reason a lot of stuff is in boxes because I don't want it to get damaged, and I want to build a dedicated wall or dedicated room to my gaming and hopefully display it all nicely once the wall is.
Is that because you don't want it to depreciate from when you bought it as well? Like, say you paid a £200 game, and then fucking it got, I don't know, it just got left out. You were playing it, and it naturally depreciates.
No. I'll tell you what does it for me, mate. Is when I've got it stacked up on something, and I walk past it and knock it, and it's been a mint condition game, and all of a sudden it's fucking dented, and you think, fucking hell, I should have looked after that better. Do you know what I mean? All my stuff is in boxes, like in the protected boxes, and in boxes out the way, because I don't like to damage stuff that needs preserving. Do you know what I mean? All my SNES games aren't in the SNES boxes. The boxes and manuals are all in protective cases inside of bigger cases. All of the cartridges are in drawers so I can play the games. So I don't have to even open and close the boxes.
Yeah.
And it
I'll
keeps
agree
the
with you,
boxes
though. Mike's saying like we swapping one addiction for another. I mean, this is all I used to go for Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, man, every weekend. Now I'll fucking go out once in a blue moon. So, you know, my money's going on something else. So I spend my Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night doing, which is playing video games.
Yeah.
Like at least I've got to show for this.
I've got loads of stuff to go through and clean and sort and sell. I mean, you guys have watched some of my videos, and I've got doubles and trebles of games. But I've got to clean them and test them and list them. You can't.
I was going to say, I think it becomes hoarding when, like, if you've got 10 copies of fucking Super Mario World Mint and you won't part with one of them.
What I consider, and I am at this point, and I do intend to get better, but it becomes hoarding when it's impacting your quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mike, if you had a flat three times bigger, you wouldn't be able to display your games, would you?
Not all of them, I don't think.
No.
And I'm quite worried that you've got space for another shelf underneath there anyway. Then
I'll fit loads more in that.
The retro TV's going back under there.
There's shelves in there.
The whole room's being changed around again.
And the other thing I'd add to this whole hoarding and collecting side of it.
Your collection must be massive, Stu.
Yeah.
You got these full collections. Where the hell do you keep it all?
Where it is.
But
what are you in there?
But mine are double stacked. Mine aren't single shelves. Don't forget, mine are double. They're all back to back.
Yeah, he's lying, man. What happens is on the weekend he goes in there, pulls the shelves on him, games all over him.
No. Dana, shut the fuck up. All you see here is all the games, all the consoles, all the systems are under the stairs in the garage.
You've got to have 3,000 plus games roughly.
I don't know. Probably, yeah, maybe more.
Collections, there's definitely 2,002. I would say I've probably got around 3,000 games. Maybe 2,000 or 3,000 games. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, I've probably got more. I don't know. I've not saying until
you've got full sets. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
What room is that? Are you in a conservatory there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a conservatory. So
I mean, half of my stuff's all Amiga boxes.
They're big boxes. What I was going to say, I forgot literally the train of thought I was on, so forget about that. Into the comments, we have
just before the nonce on a retro tip.
We have. Hang on. I mentioned Chris Richardson's here. We have Chelsea, the Kings of London, who's getting his ass ripped out by a few of the lads in the comments because he's been a bit of a knobhead. Let's be honest. Steve, Retro Limbs in the house. Yeah, he's not having a good time of it. So I don't know where. Chelsea Kings of London. Okay, right. Yeah, I'm not sure. They think he's a 9-year-old kid, apparently.
God, get careful in our comment section then.
Well, it's just a troll. Basically, it's a troll, isn't it? That's all it is. It's stirring up.
If you're a troll, go to Pete's channel, Old School Variety Face.
He loves all that. He loves it. He actively encourages trolls.
I think that could be a section where he fights one each week.
He thrives on it.
No, that's what I was going to say about collections and about storage and stuff. And you'll probably seen it, like Joel, Last Gamer, is the Guinness World Record has been contested.
Right.
You not heard about that? No.
No. What's going on?
Apparently, there's a guy who's requesting to Guinness to sort of say he, or whatever it is, has got a bigger collection than Joel. No, they don't know. They don't know yet.
Right.
The general consensus is it might be an Arab.
Is it in Bristol?
No. Well, it's not going to be fucking Hull.
I need to say that you're delayed.
I comment to say to that, but I've badgered Mark enough.
Yeah, don't burn him anymore.
No, there's a guy in America that's supposed to have like some sort of warehouse in there that's supposed to be really big, and they talk about it on Pat the NES Punk.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, again, off the back of that, there's a lot of people because you know, I've only been on the RAM as an admin for a short while, but there's a lot of people that fly under the radar, and I've known that for years anyway.
yeah.
I've known that for years anyway. But
a lot of the high-end titles come up
some of the people that have been mentioned and the collections that they've got and how it's stored. Mike, you're in the fucking lap of luxury. I mean, some of the stories I've heard of some people's rooms where they've moved back into their parents' house and literally it's floor to ceiling in every other room.
Yeah.
And it's multiple copies, like not just 2 or 3. It's like 5 or 10 copies of the same game.
Yeah.
And they're buying them all the time.
No, I don't think that should fucking count, man. If you've got 5 copies of the same game, that's bullshit. That doesn't count to the total.
No. Danny, I'm not saying that's part of the Guinness thing. What I'm saying, that's part of the hoarding issue.
That's the problem.
The Guinness records thing is something different. And
who's counting, man? Who's going around fucking counting?
Guinness.
Man, fuck that shit. Yeah, I'm going to tell them I've got it here, but they've got to sort it.
What's on the Guinness World Records video claim collective? Guinness World Records of fucking how many beans you can get in the bath or whatever.
I'm going to message them right and say I think I have, and they've just got to sort it through it all for me.
Yes, they tell you that you've got what you got.
Fuck off.
I'll say there's some down there. You've just got to. I think there's 300 in there, can't there? Fuck that.
They were counting. Started counting them at Mike's house, but he fucking broke his ankle. That guy trying to count them in his bath.
We've got Scott's Sega Zombies in the house. Blush bang! Man, Sega Zombie. Justin's here as well.
Last 10 though, he's always giving me shit, commenting. He's commenting about my hair now. My hair's been like this about a year.
We can see him next week. Sort it all out. We'll have a fight off in the car park.
Mate, he ain't making it back to
While buying and trading retro games.
Yeah.
We'll run a book. Actually, Raz is a proper Viking. You're not. You just look like a Viking. Raz is a proper Viking. He's Swedish.
Were they Swedish? I don't know where. No, they was from Denmark.
Yeah, but Swedes and Danes are all.
You can't do that. That's like so politically incorrect. You can't.
Oh God! Let's take when we need them.
They're all the same. They're all the same.
They're all Nordic, aren't they? They're all pagans.
Oh, we pagans.
You best get me a beer, man, for fucking dissing my hair. Otherwise, I'm going to drown him somewhere.
What, in a puddle in the car park? Mark, moving swiftly on.
Right.
Back to question 3.
1 second. I've lost it. Oh.
Here's the kicking in.
Oh, it's either Chris or Gav. I don't know who it is. While Mark's doing that, he's basically saying if your games are kept well and organised and tidy, that's a collection. Hoarding is just buying for the sake of buying. I'll concur with that.
Right, here we go. Is there snobbery / elitism in the scene / community? Are folk looked down upon for collecting a particular type of system?
This is Steve looking down on us all now.
I would sort of say historically, yes.
There isn't. It's not as bad as what it used to be. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you say, Stu, a lot of people didn't want
PS1. I remember PS1 was frowned upon.
Why?
Because it was fucking a dozen in Game Station. It was.
They didn't want CX selling to the common man, did they?
No, Mike. No. This predates all that.
Right.
I remember years back in YouTube land, PS1. Whew, that's not retro. That's just cheap tat. And PS2 is even worse. Now you look at it now. Where
PS2's only really just been accepted, isn't it?
Going even further back, I remember when the 16-bit stuff wasn't considered retro. The original retro stuff around 1999, 2000 was the fucking the total 8-bit stuff, and it had to be Atari.
Yeah. And it does times. It's a weird thing, but it's definitely altered.
That's with you being older than us, Pete, most of us.
Well, I'm 38 years of age. I've got, 3 years on you, 2 years on Steve. Tootie's 5 years older than me. Mike's 1 year older. And Mark Burns Out Culture's, about 6 years older? So, I mean, I'm pretty much in the middle, you know. Yeah, literally in the middle.
What are you
Much
talking
weird.
about? I'm only 26.
Fuck off.
Mark's not allowed to buy booze yet.
Yeah. Well, Mark's definitely not allowed to buy booze for a while.
I'm not allowed to buy.
Not until the 30s.
Buy games when they're accompanied by an adult.
You can't be trusted.
You need an extra button on your PC saying, "Are you sure you want to buy these games?"
It sends a message to his missus on the phone. To authorize it.
I'm trying to buy again.
Yeah.
Talking about not being allowed to buy games, what happened to you this week, Steve?
I've got an eBay ban.
Oh.
I've got an eBay ban for a week. All that backdooring.
So they're going to lose out, so he's not allowed to buy on eBay for a week.
I reckon you might make some good bargains now, Mike. Now I'm out of the scene for a week. You can jump in.
Does
anyone else do that? Does anyone else do
as
that?
well? Does Mike stalk you on eBay as well? Because he accused me of having an account that weren't even fucking mine.
Yeah, I tell you what, he asked me that the other week. He asked me that yesterday whether I had another account. I was like, no. Like, why would I have 2 accounts? No, I haven't. No.
The most enjoyable thing to do to Mike whenever he sells anything is really lowball him, give him a best offer for £1. I've done that before to much amusement.
Steve does it all the fucking time.
No.
I always offer him a mojo and 20 pence or something.
But
What was this question anyway?
Danster, do you ever like try backdooring on eBay?
Backdooring on lamps.
No, not really. I don't really bother with eBay, to be honest.
No.
I only buy off eBay if it's like last minute like sniper bids or fucking buy it now and it's too cheap. I can't be bothered the amount of times I get outbid. Because I'm tight, I want to pay. The only time I've messaged someone is when it's a collection, just to because it said the collection was in 10 miles. Well, I know it can be off, and that's the only time I've messaged someone to say, "Look, where the fuck am you?" Because I ain't agreeing to buy it if you're miles away.
Yeah,
that's the only time.
Okay.
The thing is, Steve, it's not on, mate. I mean, there's a legitimate fucking eBay sellers, right? And you're actually destroying, because you might only get a week ban, but they're going to get a major ban. So what you're doing is completely fucking wrong, mate. You need to you need to look at yourself in the mirror and fucking say to yourself, "I'm a cunt," and then nod back. Because you can
do that anyway.
No respect.
I'm going to agree with Pete, yeah, because how many times have you put something in your watch list for it to all of a sudden disappear? The fucking
exactly, and that's exactly why I do it, Danestar, before somebody else does.
You're right, mate. Come on, we know where you live, Steve. It's fine.
As well,
it's okay.
So
look, have a little look over your nice collection, mate. It's fine. It's all right. It's not a problem. Your address is there. It's available. It's all right. It's cool.
You know, worrying if I'm going to turn up and get shanked or something off Spock or something.
But at least you know what you're expecting with eBay. It's got to be legit.
Yeah.
And you're destroying people who are trying to fucking create a business here.
Oh,
you
cunt.
You fucking bastard, Steve.
You ginger backdooring bastard.
Ouch.
Well, that's a bit too personal there, too.
All right, you fucking ginger bastard. Going to the comments. Let's move to comments. Good one. I think it's Chris, actually, from what I can sort of scroll through. Do you think current gen, with all the DLC and downloads, will ever be classed as retro and collectible?
We had this the other week. No, because we can't guarantee the servers are going to be up to download all the fucking DLC and fucking.
The thing is, it won't work straight off the disc, will they, nowadays?
That's what we said last stream, innit? Because basically, if that fucking server to download that DLC or wherever from's gone, the game's gone, innit?
Unless you got some fan-based servers that, like what you got with the Dreamcast.
I tell you what, has any of you seen that? I know I'm going to get slagged off for it, but that MJR video today. Anyone see that today?
No, I'm not sure.
It's all about Radical Rick now.
No,
I like the new guy that I found. He done a brilliant edit of Metal Jesus Rocks, didn't he?
Yeah. But anyway, he's put on it today about mobile gaming
Oh, is it worth saving or something? Isn't it?
Yeah, saving them. Yeah, he's kept an iPhone 6S. He won't update the firmware to play old mobile games that are now not compatible with the new firmware.
Fuck that, man.
Do you
Most of my
remember
iPhones got smashed.
Do you remember when Flappy Bird came out?
Yeah, I do.
Phone and that, wasn't it? It's stupid, that Flappy Birds.
I remember seeing that Flappy Bird in Birmingham. She was a right dirty bitch.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I read today that were interesting as well. They reckon now that the Blu-ray HDR will be the last physical advancement in media. There won't be. It'll go to full-on streaming for movies after that. There won't be any technical advancement after that.
Well, it's looking like that.
Some of us with our fucking internet connection's going to struggle.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. I got
the first ever download-only PS4.
Yeah, they mugged you off, didn't they, you cunts?
Fucking bastard.
I mean,
yeah, I do. Going back to the question from the comments, I do think that download-only games will be considered retro at some point, and in some ways, they're going to be harder to obtain, aren't they?
But what are you going to do, Steve? They're not physical. You can't do fuck all with them.
They're not physical, but for people that want to play the games, it's going to be quite important, isn't it?
Relying on the server, aren't they?
Lower or something.
With the DLC, like with Spider-Man, the extra DLC, if you buy a physical copy of that game, then put in a PS4 in 20 years' time, are you going to still be able to access that DLC? Probably not.
Isn't DLC down to your account?
Nobody asked about DLC as well.
DLC not necessarily DLC, but just like downloaded games. I mean, I'd say DLC. No, that's not going to be.
DLC is down to your account, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I had a PS4 now, like Dana said, I got Spider-Man with all the fucking shit and chisel, and I went, oh yeah, here you go. I'm going to sell you a PS4. Usually I don't know, 100 quid, because I've got the Spider-Man, and like I don't know, say it's 10 years time. With all the DLC, I want 250 quid.
That's true.
They're not going to be able to access that DLC because it's bound to my account. It's fucking worth.
So what you were saying here, Stu, is someone should set up an account, download all the DLC, and then the account will be worth money, not the
exactly.
PS4.
The account's worth the money, not the fucking machine. It's like
I had that PT on PlayStation, but I didn't really realise it was worth any fucking money. So I think I just blanked the system and fucked it on, like, because obviously that goes into your PlayStation account anyway to play it. So I didn't want anyone having access.
The biggest eye opener to me is not to do a game. It's to do with DLC and the digital stuff, which is why I literally, when I heard about this, I was completely against it. Was Bruce Willis, in his will, he tried to obviously put it against that. His two daughters had all his access to Apple iTunes, and they went, "You can't do that." He was like, "What? What do you mean?" He goes, "Because it's against you as a person." What do you mean? But I bought them. They went, "No, you haven't bought them. You've rented them."
I thought you was going to say when he passed away that you couldn't have his vest.
Man, I've already got that anyway.
I was going to say though,
that shows you in terms of digital media, you own fuck all. All you own is a right.
You're right. It is a license, but normally a license, if you look at PRS and MCPS with music, it lasts for 90 years. Okay, so I'm surely there's going to be when them terms and conditions come up, you just go agree. I'm sure somewhere in there, if we could be asked to read them, there's something in there that gives you some kind of legitimacy to be able to have them in one way or another. But I don't know,
because I think what when you sign up to them T's and C's, Pete, it's you as a person. It's not as a collateral object.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
I'm honestly that Bruce Willis thing.
You can't gift that.
No, you can't gift it away. Exactly, that's the point. You can't gift it away.
When Charlie Chaplin became, in the public sphere, if you like, what happened then? His family, actually fucking put a halt to it, because actually at one point you could distribute freely any Charlie Chaplin video you wanted to rip off the internet and profiteer off it. So I think there's going to be something there down the line that protects us, but I hold out hope. Don't know.
Wouldn't it go down to, like when you buy a DVD that it's not for like a public showing?
Exactly.
It's just for
It's for consumption.
It's just for you to view, no one else.
But it's a lot like a lot of things. The copyright has run out.
This is what I'm saying, Mike. With Charlie Chaplin, they retained the copyright. You know what I mean? But it took a while to take it through the courts and everything.
Right.
That's just one example from, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago that I remember encountering myself doing fucking
Charlie Chaplin
semi-bootleg DVDs.
what I'd say is I don't think physical media is going there anywhere anyway, because how many DLC-only games that started out as DLC have ended up having physical releases eventually?
DVD editions, yeah.
No, I'm saying
it's if you know what you're doing, it's the same with retro gaming, isn't it? You know what you're doing with buying the DVDs, the videos, even the Blu-rays. Like you get the right ones that are out and things like that. There's ridiculous money in it if you know what you're doing.
Well, so I'll stop there, guys. Just go onto the comments because we don't want to leave these guys out.
There's a massive troll that Cajonas Deloro mentioned the other day in the
Hang on, go to the comments. This is more important because these guys are watching.
He isn't in the comments.
I don't care. I'm in the comments now. So what we're talking about is limited editions, and they're quite right in that. Chris is saying limited editions is where it's at. That's where your money's going to be saved. Steel books, art books, this, that, and the other. There's another comment here.
You can pay top money for them, and then they're worth like half price.
Chris also said, "You lot don't play the games; you collect now. What makes you think you're going to play it in 20 years' time? Don't worry about the DLC." Fair comment. So what have we got now? We've got another Bobo God. Oh, Retro Chef, Lee's in the house.
Hey.
I think Bobo God must be the other Chelsea guy. Is
he going to Arcade Club, Retro Chef?
No, he's the one who Cajonas was on about the other day, that Bobo God. He said if he comes across your channel.
Oh, is it?
That's the troll, is it?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you when you told me to shut the fuck up. Just saying.
Yeah, you need to shut the fuck up.
He can come to Arcade Club if he wants.
Who Bobo God? It's probably Pete. He's not commented for a while.
I'm sure that there's maybe a few people who'd like to see him.
I've tried to do some like put him in timeout or remove him. I don't really know what I'm doing.
You've done it, man. He's gone.
Yeah.
Dan, how many CPC 464s have you got? I know you're selling Steve one that green or someone that green monitor.
Nah. Craig wants the green screen.
Have you got another?
Are you interested in a unit?
Yeah.
Don't do it, Mark. Don't do it.
I've got a unit with a modulator, so you can hook it up to a CRT if you're interested.
Right, might be. Bring it along.
Okay.
I might be interested some around.
No one want to just buy like a game. Why does everyone want to buy the big shit that I've got?
It doesn't matter if it works or not, just whether it's flammable.
If you buy big shit, it looks like you're getting value for money, doesn't it?
Loads of FIFAs, the biggest FIFA collection.
As compared to like invisible stuff.
Yeah. All right, you fucking had Catch out, me and you, pal, next week.
There's a slow burner, that one.
Fucking hell, everyone wants to scrap me next week. It's going to be like the Royal Rumble.
Steve, can I ask a favour? Does your seat adjust the height? Because on my screen at the moment, you look like the neighbour from Home Improvement.
What's it called? Replace Gareth, that's why. He's replaced Gareth.
It's a good replacement.
Yeah,
he's been amputated at the
fence all the time.
Is that better for you?
Bit more, Steve.
No, I'm comfy.
Steve, a few more inches out of you, boy.
A little bit further.
That's better, Steve. I can see your face now.
I might see your face.
I hear his voice all weak, but I don't get to see his.
I think Pete's hunting that troll down in real life.
No, I'm here, mate. I'm here. I've just gone for the Jimmy Riddle.
Just to confirm, Retro Chef.
Troll, Pete.
Retro Chef is actually coming to Arcade Club.
Way fucking sound. The more the merrier.
Right.
So
Next question.
Marcus.
Yeah. Right. Is there a hierarchy in the retro gaming community? Yeah, I think there probably is.
Well, Tutor UK is the hierarchy, but
No, I'm not.
He's a socialist, you see. So Tutor UK is one of these type of people that actually encourages others, very much so, encourages others to fucking do what they do. Okay.
Are we talking in the UK or globally?
Oh well, let's just stick with the
We'll say
UK. It's one of
UK.
my very
Yeah.
special questions. However, when you get to the hierarchy, right, the proletariat, which is us, maybe not Steve because he's teachering above now. You know what I mean? He's got a few fucking subs and whatever. You know what I mean? He's tickling away at the fucking upper echelons. But Tutor UK keeps it fucking level. Now, what I was trying to get at here with that very important question was, do you think there's some people above that think that fucking hell, you know, unless you come here, I won't talk to you.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The only person who gives me shit is Raz. Everyone else thinks I'm cool as fuck.
Yeah, but you deserve it though, mate.
I don't care, man. I encourage it.
Go on, Susan.
No, I think you're right. I think there is definitely there's levels and there's grades, and I think there's circles within circles. We know that anyway. Look,
Do you know what? If
That's
anyone
nothing
thinks that we're
new.
not at a level to speak to, then fuck them. Do you know what I mean?
well, exactly, and that's how you look at it. It is what it is.
They're no better than any of us, are they? Do you know, we all came in this world one way. We're all great the same in it.
No,
Right,
we all-
forgetting
we-
all that fucking hippy dippy shit, Tooty's going to say something.
No, but
I'm not going
Mike's
back in
right.
at the
We all bruise the same way. We all make that same stuff. No one's more or less better than anybody else. I think YouTube in its essence, I think it's lost that somewhat a little bit. And I think money's has been the problem of it all as well, because it's just destroyed what was a really good, fun, interactive and informative circle of people. It's not just in the UK, it's across the globe. It's just killed it because it's enabled influences of
It's
like,
me.
I'm not being sexist, but like women that just come on there that they know the game and stuff, but they don't dress that way. They dress provocatively, and it's just garnering views to garner ad revenues, to garner fucking patron shit. And it's like, you know what I mean? That's kind of killed the soul of it for me a little bit, somewhat. I don't know.
Fuck me, I thought our tune was going to start playing at the end then.
Hey, there's someone here that knows. Hey, fatty bum bum, I'm gonna let it tell you something. Respect to you, man. Oh, is he a troll? Is he another troll?
God.
Have you ever seen Homer? Oh, sorry, that Simpsons episode where Homer gets the fat. He's unable to move. Yes, that is brilliant. He wears a dress as well. I fucking love that episode. Cheers, man. Sorry, carry on. Anyway,
Is it, Stuart? It's basic human nature, though, surely, isn't it? Wanting to be liked, wanting to get more sort of not famous, but to get more adoration.
I don't know, Mike. I think this is what it comes down to. If you're a YouTuber, what do you start it for? Why do you do it? Right?
Yeah.
What's your end goal? What's your purpose? What are you here for? Right? So I'm just a vlogger. I'm a talking head. All I ever did and all I ever wanted to do was to share my journey of collecting stuff and connect with like-minded people.
Yeah.
Right? That's all it was. And before I started, there was no monetization. It was just people making shit, and people enjoyed other people making other shit. When they
last time we streamed, though, didn't we? We said we agreed that for whatever reason, whether it be monetary or whatever, certain people on YouTube have changed, and as that hierarchy,
we will do. Once you introduce money into anything, people's attitudes and their goals and their drives alter.
Yeah.
It has to.
Do you not think not only on a monetary sort of thing that perhaps even the amount of subscribers people may think that they're bigger than what they necessarily are?
Yeah.
You know, gives them like false confidence where they wouldn't be like that in person.
Probably, yeah.
Not on
Do you
their
not
channel.
do you not think though, Mike, that maybe we're a part and parcel of all this? Because, you know, I'm just throwing this out there. It's a bit left wing, but you know, there's people out there that you may have watched, but when you get to know like people in the community, and they become your friends. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like proper mates. You sort of look at these early influences, if you like, and you realise that, you know, it's kind of like being red pilled on fucking YouTube. You realise what they're there for, but then at the same time, these same people, you can look at someone that's close knit in the community and look at what they're doing. I mean, it's a bit fucking mental. I'll shut up.
I think he's got Pete as well.
I think with all of us lot, what you see is what you get. When you meet us in person, we're exactly the same as what we are now.
But there's a lot of people on YouTube that are totally different.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot.
Yeah, and I think there's some people that I know people that started YouTube and left because they had a definitive view or a plan that they were going to be famous and make shit tons of money. And when it didn't happen, they were like, excuse me, and they're that deluded that they couldn't even understand why it didn't work.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's like what
some people, like I say, I'm just reading the comments now. Let's go to the comments because there's some interesting ones here. The twats turned up again, but we will ignore him.
Sorry.
Pete's basically said there's definitely hierarchy among some circles. Some people can get a bit cliquey. Agree. And then Chris has basically turned around and said, that's because me, Tootie owns CX. Chris, if I own CX, mate, I'll be on here. In reality, there isn't any. It's what they think. That's what from Pete. I'm not sure what Pete's saying. Do people? Is that what does he think that people think there's a click or there isn't a click? I don't know.
I think he thinks that maybe I'm wrong.
We assume there is a click, but there isn't really a click. Is that what you're saying? But
it's more approachable than others. It's all about body language and shit as well, isn't it? Well, you know, if you see someone with a back
and being amenable to other people, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
And not being a twat.
Well, this is where Pete differentiates himself from, say, the bigger YouTubers who do these like topper videos, because he's an approachable type of human being, right? Who actually makes time to chat with other people. So, and I think maybe he's had a bit of a moment. I don't know, where he's realised that these people appear. He could be there without question, but he doesn't maybe like it. You know what I mean? He doesn't like the way they're going, so he's come back here. The fact that he's watching this now speaks volumes.
Right, okay, so let's extrapolate on that a little bit, Pete, because Pete's basically said, Pete on Retro Tips basically said, yes, there's more of a hobby scene on the whole. Oh, actually, no, Justin has basically said, UK YouTubers I watch seem to be as a hobby. The US ones seem to want to make a living from it. 100% agree to that. Definitely. Which is why I've always said BitEd is more of a UK guy than is a US guy. Definitely. 100% agree with that. Pete's agreed with that. Basically saying, yes, UK is more of a hobby scene. Scott's basically said, I think the UK scene is extremely different to US content. US is hobby and more about the retro community. The majority of US channels aim to be the next big thing, i.e. driving their own agenda. Definitely get that. Retro Liberties UK students on about my flag's behind me, yeah. And then Pete's come back again, Pete on Retrofit. No, people think there's a hierarchy, but there isn't. There are definitely cliques.
I'll go along with that. I think that's a fair point. There's cliques, okay, but there's cliques that control certain things that go on. So, like Andy, for instance, is that his name? The guy that runs Play UK. He will pick. He won't pick the fans. Like, let's imagine. I'm not even fucking blowing smoke up his ass, but look at a genuine collector who knows a few things about fucking games. He's on our stream. Okay, to UK. Why isn't he there? You know what I mean? They're dealing with people
He doesn't put himself out as an entertainer.
So Pete, let me chip in here because Steve Retro Unlim has put this to Andy Brown, which is what you're on about at the Play Expo before, and he's basically asked him for a grassroots. I'm guessing that's what we're talking about. A grassroots UK YouTube panel. No, he's not interested. So.
Yeah, we don't put songs on
as much as let me finish. As much as people may have differentiating views about Retro Unlim, Steve is all about the community, and he's put this to Andy numerous times. So it's been asked, and it's been pushed.
Well, what I'm trying to get at here isn't against. Sorry, I've got the names wrong or whatever, but not Retro Unlim himself at all.
No, he was on about Andy.
I said that the guy, his name's Andy, right? He runs the Play. So the Play stuff. So, they want to put out there the YouTubers that are popular. And I get that from a business decision. But actually, it's not really about this is why I keep going back to Revival. Because Revival is for the collectors, for the gamers. Yes. Okay. Yes. So what I'm trying to get, this is just more proof in the pudding here, mate. I'll go and say, us lot, TRL will need to be fucking there, man.
Yeah, but Pete, what are you meaning by hierarchy then? Are we talking subs? I mean subs.
Yeah, yes, but the popular people, like some people, like let's take Digitizer for an example. So Digitize the show, come out, Mr. Biffo, all them guys. They've got all these different people within YouTube, and they bring them along. Now, Larry Bundy might be a bit of an exception in all this, actually. But all these other people just want fucking fame and notoriety, and just to be that fucking up there. You know what I mean? To have the spectacle. And
do you know what it is with Mr. Biffo, right? Do you know what's his name? What's he called? David Rose or something? Right. When I read the things that he's written, i.e. magazines in like Retro Game and stuff, I absolutely love the guy. But when I see him, when he's filmed or speaking on video, I think he's a right cunt. I don't know why.
You see, Mark, this is nothing against this guy, Paul Rose, right? There's nothing against him. But what I'm trying to say is that he picks and chooses the people he wants to be with. But actually, what I'm going to say here, there is one anomaly out of all that fucking bunch that go on there, and I think it might be Larry Bundy, because I feel as though Larry Bundy might check out other tubers because he's like a total genuine gamer. I don't know. I find it all a bit fucking bizarre. But if you're on a retro tip, for example, right, and you're associating with people in the upper echelons, and they've maybe suggested do this, do that, and the next thing.
Stop!
Hang on.
No, Pete, because you've just basically said there are upper echelons.
What I was trying to get out there too.
But you said that.
What I was trying to get out there, I think, on a retro tip in particular, isn't someone that actually wants to fucking be involved with them because maybe he sees something shady. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying to you is, though, Pete, me or whatever, I sort of said it's circles within circles, but you've just basically stated that you feel there are echelons or there are levels.
Yeah.
Personally, myself, I think it should be about retro gamers, not people who want to be presenters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Just because retro gaming is quite big, and they've seen like, oh, we can jump on this because this is a big thing. We get a lot of views and a lot of things that not necessarily aren't gamers. People talking about games that just use Wikipedia And you know,
Lads, can I just not say that we've had this like same
conversation?
conversation every stream in various different forms,
Yeah, we have, mate. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's just fucking dull.
Right, I'm going for a piss. Get a beer. Get the next question on.
Okay. Are ethnic minorities in games portrayed as stereotypes, negative or otherwise?
I wonder whose question this is.
I wonder. And he's not here, look. He's done one.
He's fucked off.
I don't even know how to answer that, to be honest. I don't. It's
What
not
was
something.
it? What's the full question? Read it again, Mark.
Are ethnic minorities in games portrayed as stereotypes, negative or otherwise?
Well,
It's not something I even think about, to be honest.
To be honest, they're probably underrepresented in gaming. I would say.
yeah, I was about to say that. Can you think of a black character who's the main character in a game?
There's a
GTA
kid
5.
in GTA 5, yeah.
Well, I'm
He's
trying
one
to
of the main characters.
shall I just try and clarify this for you?
Prototype
Right.
2.
The thing is, do you think that maybe black and ethnic minority characters are only portrayed in a very stereotypical way? You know what I mean? It's like, if it's a black guy, he's got to be a gangster. Can't
Well,
just
like
be-
GTA.
No, they do that in film, though. They do it in
That's what
film.
I'm trying to get at here. So if you look at your games and look at the ethnic minorities portrayed there, do you think they get a fair fucking crack at the whip, or are they always a stereotypical character?
So you're saying
Well,
they should be like.
That's everything
Like-
in mainstream media, though. You know,
I
you
get
can,
mainstream media, specifically in games,
Yeah.
right?
but not just specifically in games. Like fucking, if you watch wrestling, fucking stereotypes is fucking shown exactly as what they are, stereotypes. You know, it's all the same. It's you know, probably the only one who. You know, I said then, can you name any black characters as a main character name? And we listed what, 4?
Yeah.
How many video games have ever been made?
So if you're a black kid watching, okay, and playing video games, yeah, do you think that maybe that could?
GTA is probably the fuck.
GTA Prototype 2.
Is that are any of them positive, Mike?
The guy in GTA 5 is a gang kiddie. Prototype,
Stereotype.
I'm not so sure. He goes on about
Any one character that we can think of in video games that is an ethnic minority that is represented fairly and squarely as a decent individual, not a baddie, not a gangster, not a rude boy, none of that shit. Can you
just as
think
a
of
person. Just as a
Mario
person.
the Italian Plumbers looks all right. He's a good guy.
European?
No, he's
Like
Italian, I
Jungle
think.
That's what I'm trying to get at here. Trying to say, do you think that the ethnics are
You say
actually
the games industry is racist, like
fairly represented?
yeah.
And that's a question on. I've been.
Steve, what do you think?
What was
Steve, what do you
mate.
think? Stop watching porn on your phone.
Sorry, mate. Go on. What was the question again about ethnic?
Are you 3 sheets to the wind, Steve? You look
No,
cheap.
He is Gareth version 2, isn't he? Just ginger.
it was a bit of a boring question, wasn't it?
No, it's not, Steve. So there you go again. That's massive ignorance.
Well,
That is a good-
my gaming.
Just
my
listen.
gaming
How many
consists of,
ginger
like,
characters
15
do you
bit.
think of?
Okay, do you think ethnic minorities get a fair fucking crack of the whip within representation of games? Yes or no?
Within the games themselves.
Characters
With-
that are ethnic minorities in games.
I don't really play newer games, so I mean, 16-bit. They're either white or black, so I can't really comment.
Okay, let's talk about some of the positive black people then.
Okay.
I mean,
It's bound to be someone in Mortal Kombat.
Jax.
Luke
yeah,
Cage.
Jack, you had Balrog in Street Fighter, great boxer. I mean, I don't really know. I don't.
To the money, everyone.
What my point is here, Steve, is do you think, right, that, if you're going to perpetuate a certain fucking view of things, you got to say, well, hang on a minute. You know, we're just only conforming to a stereotype. Like Mike said there, GTA 5, all of them, oh, was you, not me, yeah, all this shit. Is that a positive role model?
Well, I mean, you could look at your last video, Pete. I mean, look at your last video. Who was the drug dealer?
Yeah, but it was a stereotype, and I was playing stereotype. See, Steve, that's the whole bit that you won't get because it's a joke. Right, and yes, I am completely stereotypical. I'm not saying I'm Mr. fucking righteous here. I am playing to the stereotype. What I'm trying to do is say, look, beyond the stereotype, is there something more positive? Now, if you look at all my other videos, I portray black people in an incredibly positive light. Okay, extremely positively, more than any other fucking retro gaming YouTuber. Right, I do nothing but fucking lift fucking Jamaica in every fucking positive way I can. So for you to even fucking acknowledge that, I appreciate it because you're right in a way. But
I mean, to be fair, Pete, I think your question really relates to new gaming, doesn't it? I mean, we can't ask that question and then look back to retro gaming, can we? And that's sort of what I'm about. I don't really play new games, so I can't really.
No, I think we can because we have multiculturalism for 70 years.
I would say in more modern gaming, the ethnic minorities are more catered for than what they were in the retro gaming minorities.
No, I'd agree with you there.
You know, there really wasn't any sort of black characters or ethnical characters really in gaming. Whereas now
there was loads on Sensible World of Soccer, mate.
Dean's just got one here. What's he got?
Andy Cole's a beast.
What's that?
I said there was loads of black dudes in Sensible World of Soccer.
Tell us about that then, Dave.
I was just thinking, what modern game? Because I knew I got a game that got a black guy on the cover, and it's Battlefield 1. The main character. I've not played the fucking campaign or whatever. I just play
the new guy from Mafia. He's a black character.
All I'm saying here, right? Yeah. Okay, I know I'm coming across incredibly. It's not. It's actually a genuine question, isn't it? You know, do we represent these people fairly when they're living in our society? And actually, they're nationalists too. You know, that they could be.
He's like, if they're underrepresenting managing football teams in the fucking football league that's been going over 100 years, then gaming's probably going to be behind. You know, it could even go as far as to deep as how many black programmers are there, etc., etc. We don't really know that fucking answer.
I'm just trying to say, back in the day, yes, I appreciate the fact that, you do as you know, but really, it's just about maybe it would be good if there wasn't so many negative fucking vibes with the black community. You know,
I say that there's black guys in Target Renegade, but they're not in a positive light, are they? They're gang members trying to stop you from going where you're going.
That's what I'm trying to say. Imagine being a young black kid and watching that, and that's what you. Well, that's me. I mean, that's how you identify.
It's a good problem. Pete, a good question, right? And I think you're right. No, they're not. They don't get a fair crack at whip, and they're behind the way, say, where the film industry is. There does need to be more probably black characters playing AAA games. As main characters. You're right. There ain't that many. There ain't many. Definitely not.
But what you ain't gonna do is you ain't gonna fix the past. So any game done fucking previously, he's not gonna fucking change, is he?
No, I accept that, and that's a fair point.
What's done is done. Right, let's quickly go to the comments because there's a slew of fucking comments, and I'll try and do my best.
42 people watching us. What the fuck?
There's a load about football. I'm not going to cover the football ones because obviously that's how it is.
Did you lose today or something? I don't.
No, we're not playing till next week. You bastard! Fuck off.
Have you got a cup game tomorrow?
No. We're selling ourselves in Dubai. Anyway, Justin says, stereotypes or archetypes. Mafia 3 had a black lead, not played it. Good point. Pete was on about him being godified or something. I can't remember what it was now. So why does everyone put me on a pedestal? I can't remember what it is now.
We've just pulled it from
fucking the comments are that fucking rapid. Pete, you're not a god. Just got a big dick bastard. What else have we got? Lee's Watch Dogs 2 main character was a black guy. GTA 4 was a black guy, wasn't it? I'm sure. Not that I'm a current gamer. Pete says, crack of the whip. Oh, poor choice of words. Craig says, Shack Attack.
Well, it did like when the Nintendo Switch came out.
Yeah, Retro Steve says, I like Black Mass on the Master System. What else have we got here? Oh, Novable, Chris is in the house. Novable is joined us. And it makes a good point. The answer is it doesn't matter as long as the character is well written and appropriate to the time and period of the setting, which I concur with. It's irrelevant. It has to be like it's like having not being horrible. It's like having Black James Bond. I don't know.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry, I have to stop you there. That's utter crap.
Hey.
No, James Bond is a character. Okay, you can never change his character. Right? Ian Fleming wrote that character donkeys years ago to be a white guy. You can't change that. He's a white person.
Exactly.
I'm not.
That's what Stu just said.
What I'm trying to say is here, right? to sort of, you know, engage with Chris's comment was that it's about, do you think, right, simple as this, that black people get a fair crack of the whip, or are they always portrayed in a stereotypical negative light? There you go. That's what it's all about, man. It's not about fucking. You've got to play a fucking. You know. You've got to play an archetype.
What about Space Jam? What about Space Jam on the PlayStation 1?
What's the basketballer, man?
Michael Jordan. He's a black guy. He's a main character.
Yes, Michael Jordan. Yeah, well, exactly.
But it's relevant. It has to be relevant. You can't. It's like basically saying, well, we're going to do a James Bond film, but she's going to be a lesbian woman.
No, it's not. That's
not
what I'm saying.
Just to make it so it's fair to everyone.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You're completely wrong. And absolutely not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is when you don't shoehorn in a fucking black character to make them a positive representation of their community.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to say is that is it fair? Why can't you just have, I don't know, maybe a black character who's just, you know, just the hero with the quest, whatever, without no bullshit attached to it. No, it's not about fucking trying to fucking change, you know, archetypes.
Gang affiliation or anything like that, you know, the guy's got a normal
That's
job.
all I'm saying, man. All I'm saying is looking at it from a black point of view, yeah? So a black kid looks at this and all he sees is negativity.
Yeah.
All he sees is
sure, Pete, I'm pretty sure
of his
a black kid will look at it exactly the same as a white kid does, or an Asian kid does, and see it's just a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know, Dane. That's the whole point. That's why there's this fucking nonsense.
Pete, do you think Japanese kids look at Yakuza and go, "Oh, I've got to be tattooed fucking"?
No, the thing is,
Japanese mafioso now, have I?
Yeah, but the thing is, I'll answer you.
Hey, no, you ain't giving me a chance to even give you a fucking statement. As always, you're going off on one.
Go on, then. Go on.
All I'm fucking saying is which video game did you fucking watch as a kid that fucking even inspired you? Because fucking none of them inspired me. None of them. They're just fucking video games I play.
Mate.
Society, well, that's one way of looking at it, but society's changed. Okay.
No, because you're allowing it to change.
Hang on, you're just getting this all wrong. Yakuza is the Japanese mafia, okay? So Japanese kids are looking at that, looking at in a homogenous society and saying, we are Japanese people, that is part of our section of society. So a black kid in America or the UK or whatever, which isn't their homeland, by the way, okay? They have come here and they've grown up here, yeah? They're looking at what's being represented to them is all very fucking negative, right? If you can't see that, you're blind.
They've been born here. They've been grown up. They've not come over here. They've been.
Okay, that's my point, Tootie.
Pete, so what you're saying is people shouldn't be put in a negative light. So should I go around kicking fucking lizards because of Bowser? Is that what you're fucking saying? Because he's a bad guy.
No, I'm being very specific.
I'll go out the street and I'll fucking boot a lizard in the air.
We're talking about
Stop. We're going fucking a million miles off topic here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go to the comments and then we're going to go to Marcus for another question. Let me just see if there's anything sensible in the comments that we can pull this back on track.
We lost 6 viewers during that fucking rabble.
I'm not surprised anyway. Right, saying that I've literally lost the fucking thread here. Oh, they're still talking about gender and race representation in terms of games. Cole from Gears of War. Apparently he's a black guy. I don't know. I don't really play modern games. What else we got? More football talk. Oh, Chris has repaired the CPC 464. He's an absolute legend.
It's not easy being green.
Oh, we've got Chris, CJ and Retros in the stream. I'm literally trying to. Craig, Big Man Charles here.
Hey.
I did mention Scott Sega Saturn, I'm sure I did. And I think that's where we got to. So over to Marcus for the next question.
I don't understand this question. I don't know anything about Soldier. It just says Soldier Boy consoles.
No, nor me.
No.
He was basically selling cheap Chinese knockoffs, wasn't he? And then putting a tax on top of calling him Soldier Boy. That's all it was.
Legend.
And he got
remember his song from the mid 2000s.
Who is he, Mike?
He done a song in 2007, and he hasn't really done much since then. I think
Superman in there, ho! Watch me crank it, watch me roll. That one.
What? How's it go again, Dave?
Watch me crank it, watch me roll. Superman, that hoe.
You stick to plastering, you fella.
Right. Plastering? What the fuck's plastering, mate?
Oh, fucking hell.
Fucking plastering.
Right. What kind of videos are deemed acceptable in the scene? Keeping it real, pickups, discussion, reviews, news, toppers.
Well, they're all acceptable, aren't they, really?
I think it's acceptable. It's called fucking YouTube for a reason.
Yeah.
Whose
question is it?
Is this your question?
Mine. Of course it is. Okay, look. all the good questions are mine, you fucking incompetent morons. Now.
What do you mean by the scene? The scene.
He's on about lists, I think.
No, I'm not. Well, to a degree. What is acceptable? Okay, so if you're a YouTube channel, can I finish? Once you've got a channel and you're trying to do certain things, what do you think is deemed acceptable within the community? Is it if you do a topper video, you're selling out? If you do pickup videos, are you selling out? If you do, I don't know, gameplays, are you selling out? What is acceptable within this sphere?
All of them.
All of them, and more.
Yeah,
it's called, like I keep saying to people, it's called fucking YouTube for a reason. What annoys me is people are more driven and more garnered to making what people think they want to see rather than what they want to make.
Yeah.
Just do your own shit. Don't be a fucking imitation. Just do your own thing.
Do you know what though? It's like certain people I can watch certain videos. I mean, I don't watch gameplay videos as a whole, but I do enjoy watching Mr. Bad's Paul's gameplay videos. I don't know if it's because he swears and you know, I enjoy. I will watch his
Do you know what
gameplay.
it is? Do you know what it is?
I watch everyone's here other than
Do
Steve.
you know what it is? And I thought this through as well. It's because he talks, he commentates for it all as well.
Yeah. And he gets wound up. He gets wound
I
up.
like when he gets wound up and he swears.
It's a natural reaction to what's going on, and that's what I like. And I agree with you 100%. Same with Lawboy's post, Dave. He does the same thing, and there's very few people that can do that. A lot of them just don't say anything.
Yeah, like you say, I can't generally watch them because they're not entertaining. It's just I may as well play a game myself.
Yep.
But like I say, I enjoy. I mean, Paul's knowledge of the games is really deep on a lot of the games. Like when he done the Rainbow Islands one recently, I didn't know half the stuff he was talking about on that video.
Talking of gameplays, Mike. Talking of gameplays, Mike. Remember when you played R-Type? That was really entertaining. I thought
that was hilarious.
Steve loved it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to collect the bullets, though, Mike.
It was that sticky joystick. Do you need a new joystick, Mike? I can sell you one.
Oh, if someone sold me a dodgy one, it was a bit sticky.
Sticky after you got it.
See, Stu's froze again, aren't you?
Am I here?
Steve's
you froze in a face of disgust.
Had he sneaker freaks come as a cat burglar?
There's a new Adidas sneakers out at JCB, and he's been
Dog trash.
What's going on with your picture, Stu? You got
the fucking eating on, you tight bastard. Take that off.
You alright, guys?
Yeah, how is it, right?
Yeah, not bad. Weekend.
What sauce you on?
I'm on this Prague stuff tonight.
Ah.
Yeah.
So Pete, right? I think the answer is you can make anything you want, any topic or whatever, as long as it's your own shit.
As long as it's representing a view, like, you know.
You're not copying or imitating just for.
I tuned out there, man. What's the question? I've absolutely no idea.
It's your question, Ed.
I ain't saying it again. You can fuck right off.
Come on, man. I want to hear you.
I just say that you can make what you want. It's for your audience. If your audience is only 30 people.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough, though. Well, we've exhausted that then, so let's move on. Let's not get too bitter.
Hang on. Hang on. Hold your horses. Let's go to comments. Just double check. Scrounge. Someone's called him Scrounger Boy. I said I don't know anything about that Scolger Boy. Well, I don't know anything about it. He was getting knocked off Chinese consoles, which are like 150 quid, say, and he was charging like 200 quid or 300 quid for them and calling them Soldier Boy consoles. And they had all the ROMs loaded onto them. Oh, so, okay.
He was going, Nintendo ain't going to touch me. I've already got the licenses and everything. And eventually, you type in his website and Nintendo came up. So obviously, Nintendo.
Right. Okay. We've got late night reviews, thoughts on new Resident Evil. No, we're not discussing Resident Evil. There's enough shit on Resident Evil to go around.
Free zone.
Go to the main cave if you want to watch.
Yeah,
Resident
go to the main cave. Late night reviews. Hello, lads. Hello. Late night reviews. Scotty Thompson. Hello, Scotty Thompson. I like Game Hunted pick-up reviews and collection videos. The YouTuber has to have a bit of a character to keep me watching.
He's got to be sub.
Great response.
I think that's where I struggle.
You got to have a bit of personality, Stephen.
Steve.
Fucking personality, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, but there's a fine line, Pete, isn't there?
You know, wash your hair and go fucking hell on me. What do I represent? Anything anyone tells me to, that'll do that. Or be you cunt.
Yeah, be yourself.
Steve doesn't even snub off of us anyway.
Steve, when he takes that off, he's quite.
You know what? No, that's wrong, man. You know what? Steve is to
Which
give
Steve?
some credit where credit due.
Or Ginger Steve?
No,
You can't just call him
Silly
Steve.
Steve.
Amiga
Steve.
Steve, Steve.
No,
Yeah.
let me
We differentiate.
I'm going
Posh
to give you. We started Sneaker Feet Steve the OG.
Posh Steve or Rough Steve.
So, not Ginger. So I don't want to fucking represent.
Yeah, I think you missed a big point.
Listen, Steve's come on here, yeah. He knows we're a bunch of nutcases. He's an Aston Villa fan, so I've got a lot of respect for Steve, and he is a genuine collector, right? It's not even taking a piss. So, if you want to see some actual lists, right, that he's compiled himself, go and check out Silly Steve because I've got.
Definitely.
No, seriously,
No,
I'm
he
trying
is.
to bumlet the man. The guy's got his shit locked on, man. Just leave him alone.
Steve, how come you're a fucking Villa fan?
I'm a glory hunter.
Fuck yeah, what in 1982?
Try the fucking Brummy accent.
He's a Villa fan.
He's a retro glory hunter.
See, if he'd said I was a Man United fan, you wouldn't have asked why I was a Man United fan, would you?
Nah,
You would be
them
the
Brummy fuckers, them fucking Brummy teams. Jesus.
I think that's why fucking Steve wasn't bothered about the minority fucking thing, because there's no ginger characters either, is that?
Not even
Then
fucking
skulls
Kent.
on FIFA 98.
If you look at the demographics of Kent, it's very low in gingers and very low in ethnic minorities. It's
Have
not
you
very
actually looked at the demographic, old school? Have you looked at it as well?
Yes, I have. Of course, I have. What a stupid question.
Keith, are you the only person
fuck
who uses
off.
the census website?
No, but I've got a vague idea of where in the country certain people live. Okay, my friend. You ain't got this cat flag.
So you've tried to hunt Silly Steve down and you've narrowed it down to the ginger people within its area.
Kind of more the shit that you do, man. You want to fucking lube him up and bum him and fucking ejaculate deep inside his asshole. Well, I can respect that because you're a Batman. But the thing is, at the end of the day, beyond all that, all I want to do is just, you know what I mean, understand where people are from.
Fucking ginger is not on demographic, you clown.
No, but ethnic minorities.
He's not psycho, apparently.
Listen, Mark, get fucking with the programme. You're not very progressive, are you? Fuck's sake.
He's from Bradford. He's the most progressive as a all.
Oh, thanks, Dana. We're mates now. Finally, you've got where I'm from.
Yeah, I've still got fucking five fingers.
Praise the fucking Lord.
He's only just moved there from Hull, though.
Right.
Who's on there?
Where's Mike gone?
I've got a piss.
One of his fucking gaming cabinets gone down.
In the fridge.
Marcus, on to the next.
This is my question. All right.
Oh, this will be it.
Steve, get off your fucking phone.
Our
I'm on
tutors'
it, I'm
old
on it.
videos
I
still
don't know who
relevant.
he's
My old-
texting. All his friends are here.
He's
My
not
old
fucking
mate, like,
lovers.
4 years old plus. Does anyone still watch them? You see, I don't. I won't even watch your old videos, Stu, because
I don't blame
Oh,
him
you
watching
need to
either.
watch Stu's.
so much has
You need to
changed.
watch
Hang on.
Stu's old videos.
So much has changed in retro gaming from in the last 4 years. It's almost irrelevant watching them.
No, you've got to watch Stu's videos, man. When he was like Hale and Pace when they were the kids' TV presenters.
I know. There's one where he's got like a fucking polo neck on or something. I'm like, what?
That jumper's class, the stripy jumper.
Yeah, that's it. Like fresh face in a really fresh face. And hi guys.
Hi, I'm Stuart.
Yeah, you saw
We're
the
going-
fucking progression.
We're going to talk
I've been
about video
drinking
games
beer.
today.
What,
The,
Kate?
the first time he fucking had a pint was somewhere around Christmas, and he went, "I've got to have a pint," and he just opened a beer and starts to. There's about 10 videos, but I've watched them all, Stuart. I ain't gonna lie to you, every fucking one, and they were great because you're so stiff at the beginning. Hello.
Once
Hello.
it up and
And you got
Budweiser.
the Neo chair and a few bits there, and fuck all on. It was great.
That's-
Brilliant.
That's evolution.
He could
No,
even
no,
stand up back then to do it.
Evolution, man. I'll go back down the other way now.
You became yourself the more it went on.
Exactly. That's what I always said to people. Be yourself. however you do it, whatever means you need to do it, you do it.
The early videos are classic.
No.
But won't remove them. People remove the old videos, don't they?
Don't. No, mate.
They do. They do that.
That was only a week old, the one that Gareth removed.
That's because you have it, Dana. But they do. People do that. They remove their old stuff because they get embarrassed about it. But that's, like you say, that's the history. That's the timeline. That's how... especially for new people as well, I think it's quite encouraging because everyone has to go through them stages.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Steve? Don't be the next Gareth. Don't be the next Gareth.
What? I mean, I've put a few videos on YouTube like years and years ago, but only for like to show other people. It wasn't to like create a YouTube channel. I've only been doing this for like a year or so. So I've no idea. In 4 years, will I delete my old stuff? Probably not. Probably not. I don't see the point, but I don't imagine many people will watch it. You know what I mean? Like, again, like I'm with, I think Mike was saying, like, why would you? Why would you watch something that was 4 years old? I think the only thing, I do keep watching Mr. Bad's like older videos from last year, like his collection vids, like done a diagnosis one.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. It'd be good to get Paul on there one week, though, wouldn't it? It would be good to get Paul on.
What about other Steve? How long have you been on tubes, mate?
Oh, several years. I mean, I think regarding watching old videos, I think it depends on the video. If it's just a general weekly vlog,
yeah,
the kind of thing that Tusi does, for example, then they're very much of the moment. However, if Tusi was to do a collection video, for example, that I know his collection will personally evolve, but that is something that people will go back on and watch more. Or if it's a gameplay video, or if it's if you're looking in depth at like a Commodore Amiga and you're doing something to it, those videos don't really age. It's more like the weekly general vlog videos, I think, that might age.
What I'd say to that, though, is I said to you earlier, Stu, I stumbled across a Bithead one that just come up on my feed that was 3-4 years old. And I said it was one of the best videos I've seen him do because it was like a live pick up.
Yeah, see, I don't get. I can understand. And for them that may or may not know on the stream, there's a thing called evergreen videos, right? I don't know if it's a fucking YouTube phenomenon or whatever, but basically evergreen videos mean they don't age, right? So you can make a video and it's relevant no matter when you watch it, right? So them's your toppers, them's your sort of best of, hidden gems, all that kind of shit. What a lot of us do here is vlogs. So we're vlogging our journey, we're vlogging our collection or whatever it might be, right? But what Dane is sort of saying as well, you can't dismiss some of them vlog things because there is some absolute classic moments. Like when I was that pissed up when I took that
the Edie Carlos moment.
from Pat and the old username. I was pissed as a fucking fart.
That was your best work. That was brilliant.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is you can't just literally dismiss stuff because it's not an evergreen video. And like Dana sort of said, some of the better stuff I always and have done for the last fucking like 9-10 years, encourage people to go and watch better stuff.
I've watched every video
stuff. It's absolutely fucking classic.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But then again, like if there's tubers alike, I used to do it with yourself, Stu, like before we sort of knew each other and all that, is if you didn't have a video up, I'd go back and watch some of your older stuff.
Yeah.
And this is what you do.
I think it's all relevant, isn't it? It's all relevant to who you're watching and how interested you are in them.
Yeah. If someone's got character and they've been going on it for years and they've got comedic value, then yeah, I guess you would watch back the older videos. But what I meant really, I were meaning it from like more the retro gaming side, where it has changed from 4 years ago, hasn't it? Prices are totally different now. It's just it's manifested so much, so I don't find the old stuff when people are talking about pricings and stuff relevant. So I tend to tune out of that.
But it's there's sort of a catch-22 in it. It's like Steve said, why would you watch your videos 4 years old or something? But we're all collecting games that are 20 or 30 years old.
Yeah.
So surely if those games are in those videos, it's still relevant.
Yeah, but
The
they're relevant now, because I say when I watch like your guys' vids and you do your pickup vids, as I've said before in the chat, it's like watching my mates what they've picked up, what they're playing at the moment.
Yeah.
It's sort of relevant, but again, I don't think I would watch your vids like 4 years down the line. Do you know what I mean? Unless you did, as say like the Evergreen video.
Yeah, but Mark, you're saying with like you look now and you ignore the price of that, but in 4 years' time it would be interesting to see
what they were going for. Yeah. How it's gone now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you'd actually be fucking horrified.
Oh my God! I think fuck me. I wish I was picking them up at those prices.
It is one for one of my. Again, I don't know how fucking long ago it was. I bought Fantasy Star 4, Street Race 2, 1 and another game, and I bought all 4 of them for 100 quid. £25 each. It's fucking.
Yeah.
When I look back now, I think that was a great buy.
Yeah.
I think. What was that game called? To get one Gamma W SKU?
Sorry?
You said you picked up. What was the game?
I bought Fantasy Star 4. I bought Streets Rage 2. I want to say Streets Rage 1. And there's another game, and I can't remember what it was. But I bought all 4 of them for 100 quid. And back then, I was panicking because I bought them off of outside of eBay as well.
Right.
And it was like, fucking hell, this is big money here. Little did I know.
The thing is, Tootie, I mean, you know, people gravitate towards your channel, obviously.
No, they don't.
Well, they do. You've got 3,000 odd subs. So, of course they do. So, the reality is they go there for either a couple of things. One is because you've got a lot of stuff and you know your shit about retro games and you can discuss them and the prices and what and so on and so forth. You know, tales from the booter. But beyond all that, it's incredibly boring unless you are a human character who's got genuine emotions and so on and so forth, someone you can relate to or not, or that you just find enjoyable to watch. Now, I think that's more why. Now, I come into you for the booter shit. So there is someone who's into car boot sales. So at the time, there was hardly anyone. And it just so happened that I was into retro gaming too. So the car booting thing gripped me. But if you weren't interesting, like a lot of these fucking resellers are extremely fucking boring, I wouldn't have carried on watching. So to me, it was not about the prices. That's a part of it. But it's more about what's he going to say next. Is he going to entertain me? Is he enjoyable to watch? And I think people lose sight of that.
Yeah, that is true.
Or it's just going to be robots.
Because one of the videos I've got into recently, I think Tootie's mentioned him as well, is Steve 1989. And he does, I mean, it's quite boring when it's described, but his videos are very Moorish. It's a binge on him. He basically gets old ration packs and eats them. I think I mentioned it last time. But they're really, really, they're really good videos. And the way his personality comes across, it makes the channel. I think he must be 800,000 subs or something daft. So he's obviously...
He's got these weird mannerisms like that. That's nice.
Yeah, like a hippie.
It's like, what the fuck? Mate, it's like a fucking Jaffa cake. That's nice.
Yeah, and he'll
get put it on the shelf. I'm gonna wrap that back up. I'm gonna put it on the shelf.
Yeah, and when he puts something on a tray, he goes, "Let's get this out on a tray." Nice.
It's not al fresco.
It's weird. It's weird, and really, it's madness to watch.
But there's another similar channel, a UK-based guy, and it is very similar. And I think he's got a few 100,000 subs, called Car Cleaning Guru. I know what they do. I mean, he's got a professional car cleaning business, and he'll go to like wealthy people with like a Ferrari. Will ask them to come and clean and detail his car.
Steve, he's been to your house.
The way he describes all the things he's doing, like, oh, look at those soapy suds and all this.
He's into Steve's ass, ain't he? Steve, come on, Steve. Have you bought some of mini gays off him, Steve?
Well, why would you rather watch though? Some twat who's got loads of money, or not a lot of money, whatever, just showing games, or something with a bit of substance. To me, the substance always overrides whatever they got. It don't matter if they're picking up shitty fucking, £1 games. It's irrelevant. It's about the actual character and the personality. To me, I mean, I might be in the minority there.
It's like you say, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching a guy, and he had one of the Sega arcades, which had I don't know what it's called but they got several games on one arcade, and it's a Sega arcade. And I was quite interested in the arcade, but the guy was just like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
It was like the subject he was talking about was very interesting, but he wasn't. Yeah,
I know.
Pete's right. It has to be about the character.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, I watch a lot of shit that I'm never going to be able to get into, but I have no expertise into it, like arcade stuff, pinball stuff. And there's a guy called 8-Bit Pit, Drew, American guy. Absolutely. I'll link him down below after this is finished. I think I've mentioned to 8-Bit Andy as well. He's into his pinballs, but there's this guy, like I say, he's not the most popular, but the stuff he does and how he does it, I love it. I think it's really entertaining, It's not like overdrawn. It's not fucking. There's no fucking Patreon. There's nothing, no shit like that. It's just him repairing machines, pinballs, and or arcade machines, and his journey as he does it. And he's his own man as well. I like that.
It's like that video that Pete Old School put out this week, wasn't it? It's about that Joel, wasn't it, with the He-Man and all that. Like, that video was very, very entertaining.
Yeah.
How he started at the paper round to get his figures because his mum could.
Loved it.
And he went out and worked hard and got what he wanted, And I think a lot of people sort of don't forget that with him. He has made it himself, hasn't he?
It's bizarre, Mike. He had a lot of disrespect on there, in the comments saying, "Oh, Joel, can't you just show the games and expensive games?" I was thinking, "Shit, Joel, this is the best shit you've done."
Yeah.
I'm sitting there entertained as a viewer.
Oh,
what the fuck is the matter with you, dickheads?
The thing
I
is,
only want to know that the guy's got a fucking £2 million game.
Yeah. He has actually got a car channel as well, hasn't he? He's got a nice car collection as well. But
he sold it all. Well, sold most of it, didn't he?
What's that? The figures or the
cars? The figures he gave to Jess, didn't he? The Star Wars figures he gave to Jess. And a lot of the car stuff, I'm sure he said he sold off.
I don't know. I thought he still had the Knight Rider car and things like that.
He's got some.
Right. Isn't it interesting though that this guy's a human being, right? That actually wants to be human and show you what he enjoys, and then doesn't mind being a twat on a bike. And I fucking love that. I thought that was great. He showed his.
I've always said this about Joel, because when Metal Jesus said to him, "Oh, can you come on my channel and do your collection thing?" And he went, "No." I loved it. He went, "No, fuck off, mate. No, not in that. Not in so many words."
That's a question I just want to ask you, Stu. I mean, it's a given that we all love Bet 1000 show and all that. But did he get back to you on that question?
No.
I wondered if he would.
That
was always my bugbear. And I had this conversation with Dana before. I said, "Look, Patreon, it's divisive and all that kind of stuff. It's probably a question we've already had before, but I'm going to cover it now. And I don't mind. I have no problem with Patreon at all, right?
Yeah.
I would probably disagree with Patreon being a tip jar. It's not a tip jar. You have to subscribe to it.
Yeah.
As far as I can see. And the only person I've ever done, and I probably will do, is Bithead. And I always said that. So the day that guy sort of says, I need to Patreon it, he's probably the only guy I would probably support.
Yeah, it's the same.
And like you said, you quite rightly pointed out, Michael. I listed a few questions and they never got answered. And I wouldn't say I got burnt or bashed about in the comments as such.
Has he ever replied to you, Stuart?
No. And I still think my points are valid because it's time over money. Right?
You just asked for clarification, didn't you?
It's time over money. Right? I can 100%. Right? I can get people saying, "Look, right, I'm working fucking 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock, right? And if you guys help me out, I can work 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock, and then move the 3 hours or the rest of the night. I can do the stuff.
Yeah,
get that right? Or if he's doing side jobs, if you guys help me out, I don't have to do side jobs. That takes the sting out of the missus.
The pressure.
He didn't really say that. He didn't really clarify that.
Yeah.
So, Stuart, should we move on to the e-begging question now? I think this is appropriate.
Yeah. And again, it segues into that.
I mean, what he's doing isn't e-begging. He set up.
Well, let's just set up the question, Mike, and then we'll discuss it. Go on, Mike.
Mark.
Yes.
Question 3.
Or 20 or whatever.
Basically, what constitutes e-begging and what are your views on it?
So, can I say e-begging to me is what Metal Jesus done about 2 weeks ago, innit? Guess what, guys? My basement's flooded.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it on the insurance. What am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to buy a whole new entertainment centre that could cost $40,000. It's a fucking plywood unit, mate. It's about 20 quid in B&Q. Do you know? And all he's doing is making people who watch his stuff and enjoy his stuff think, oh no, we don't want Metal Jesus to stop making videos and everything. We better give him some money. It's like he's Africa or something. He needs saving. I think was it you that looked into how much he earns, Stu? He earns ridiculous money, doesn't he? He earns like $4,000 a month just through like ad revenue or something stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, I think just jumping across because I did actually miss the comments. Retro Dave's in the house.
Hey.
Dave, eating old Russian pat, blah, blah, blah. I don't think there's anything here. Oh, someone loves car cleaning guru as well. That's Scott, Sega Saturn lad. There's a new vid coming. I don't, just chatting to themselves. But yeah, with Metal Jesus and that whole fucking debacle, it's not only the sort of flood thing, isn't it? It's the stuff before it. It's like, oh, can you fund me to go across the country?
Holiday, you can buy me an RV and £50,000, and me and my mates can take a year off work and go around and visit everyone. And you could get a Metal Jesus Metal Militia badge for 100 quid or something. Like
yeah, and I think we mentioned before, and I'm not sort of saying, oh, this guy's a fucking messiah. He knows exactly what he's on about, or whatever. But there's an interesting watch. And it's called Radical Rick. If you go to his stuff, right? And all he does, he's not a troll. All he does, he breaks down exactly what's been said and the answers to what's been said. And a lot of the time, none of it makes sense. Like when Metal Jesus did that thing, sort of saying, "Oh, I'm going to be flooded," this, that, and the other. There's a load of guys there, retro gamers, that are actually in the sort of fucking that business in terms of like rendering and structural engineers. And they said, all you need to do is this, and this. Bang, bang, bang. It's X amount of money from fucking the equivalent of B&Q, and their comments were removed.
Yeah, that was
consistently
removed. A lot of people were saying, get that tape, weren't they? It cost you a few quid for a couple of rolls of this tape, and he deleted their comments.
And they kept removing them because what happened was, not long after he put the video up, the first comment that was pinned was his sort of saying, "Here's my Patreon."
Yeah.
And again, it comes back to what Pete was sort of saying. It loops back around to that thing. Look, Patreon isn't e-begging.
No,
Right.
it's not. No,
It's
but
not.
what he did is
Ad revenue is not e-begging.
no.
Right? They're not the same thing. When you conscientiously or subversively or whatever start influences people's opinion, like he's done there, that's e-begging.
Can I just chime in for a
Yeah.
sec? That Radical Rick then covered. I watched one of his early videos on a guy called Woods who collects fucking amiibos, and he like goes, "Oh, I need this amiibo to complete this," and like fucking miraculously, next video, some fucking mugs bought it for him and sent it him.
Yeah.
Now that is fucking without
does it a
begging,
lot. He
but
does it a
actually
lot,
begging.
He does it a lot, Woods.
It's subliminal. It's subliminal.
Way I see it, right, clearly the whole fucking subject, it's wrong completely, right? And we're never going to buy into any of that shit. But the thing is, you'll never be able to stop certain minorities of people chipping in and better helping. But don't you just think, though, that morally YouTube or Google should be monitoring it and stopping it somehow?
No.
The difference
Although
is
it's begging, no one's holding a gun to their head.
No, but they still morally should do something. Because
but Mark, they get thousands of views and YouTube benefit from the views. That's all they care about.
I know. But this is what I mean.
When it comes to money, there's no morality whatsoever, mate, is there? You know?
Look, in whatever format the fucking is basically fucking people will be manipulated one way or another anyway. You know what I'm saying?
There will be, Dana, but
people always try and buy someone's friendship if they look up at someone. It will always happen. And that's what these people.
I've never ever paid to a Patreon or anything, but I have bought a Bit Ed 1000 t-shirt.
Yeah, but you're getting some of your money there.
Yeah,
that's different.
I think it's because they're not asking outright where the problem is. It is subliminal, isn't it?
Yeah. They're leaving the suggestion in your head.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, there was examples where some guy suddenly worked at Target, which is like equivalent to like fucking Tesco's, right? And he sort of said to Wood or something, "Oh, I might have some money left at the end of the month, and I'll send you an amiibo." I mean, this guy's on minimum wage, and when he looked at the Solar Winds recuperation from Wood's Beaten's channel, he was on hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and he's still
not hundreds and thousands, like hundreds and thousands.
Jesus Christ.
Whatever, it's fucking
He's on a lot of
stupid.
money.
And he's more than welcome to take that shit off that poor guy.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
That's what ruins YouTube for me. That's what ruins YouTube for me.
40-hour week and then making these videos and sort of.
And I know people are going to say he doesn't have to do this or she doesn't have to do that. But we know there's people there that aren't mentally all there, or they might be fanatics, right? And it's men and women, both probably equal sides. But for fuck's sake, man, come on, have a fucking word to yourself. That's not right, man.
No, it's not. It's morally wrong. And if you've got
you're never going to convince people who believe it's morally right that they're wrong.
No, you can't. You can't, Dana. You can't.
So, Stuart, is it? Are we thinking it's a predominantly US thing? This then? eBay?
I don't know. Probably not, Mark. I don't know. I'm guessing there's people. Look, I've been gifted stuff, right? I've been gifted stuff, and I've gifted stuff out as well, right? So I can't sort of say. I can't sort of say. I can't be on the moral high ground and say, "Oh yeah, you should get this." But I've never subliminally inferred or begged or whatever. Because this is the thing. Because monetizing Patreon or whatever, that's not begging unless you are fucking literally saying to people, do this, or you're hiding your content behind that paywall, right?
Yeah. So
when we talk about paywalls, it's basically like you can't see my videos unless you pay this money, right? That's a different story. Right. But I've never done. I've fucking that's not what I'm about.
It's not what any of us are about.
No, exactly.
So, is there a way to tackle it though?
No.
No.
Simple answers, no.
Yeah.
No.
Other than doing what, the only way to tackle it is doing what Radical Rick does. That is the only
And
way.
highlight it, yeah.
And that other guy that I put the video on our chat, the video he done of Metal Jesus, is absolutely hilarious.
There's certain people, and it may be, I'm guessing it probably is more US based, but there is subliminal, very suggestive tax or whatever that they use, and they get stuff sent to them.
Yeah.
Some people might sort of say, "What's your fucking problem? They're getting stuff sent from the shit. You're just jealous." Yeah, but some of these people, man, when you see some of the comments, like they work in like fucking Walmart or whatever. They're on minimum wage, man, and they're sending some guy. They're sending some guy who's earning tens of thousands of pounds. It's fucking not right. I don't care.
Even if you're earning a couple of £100 a week off of YouTube and things, it's wrong. And these people are earning thousands. You know?
Yeah. And then to add insult to injury, a lot of the people that do give stuff or donate stuff to these channels, they don't get a fucking shout out.
Oh, fuck.
They don't get mentioned. It's like this fucking nonchalant. It's like, yeah, chuck on the fucking tip. It's like fucking DuckTales, you know, fucking Scrooge McDuck.
It's like they think they should have those things.
Yeah.
They are.
Off, man,
being entitled.
Yeah, very entitled, yeah.
Yeah, entitled. That's the word I was looking for.
Sad man, sad state of affairs.
Anyone else got an opinion on this?
Yeah, I've got an opinion on it. So actually, you're looking at fucking, begging, and we've distinguished that there's begging on eBay and there's Patreon and there's GoFundMe and all these various ways of dropping a few coins into someone. All right. So we're talking about let's discuss the fucking elephants in the room. Bithead 1000. So Bithead, who is an exceptional channel, has brought about this Patreon. Now, Tutti, earlier stated that he wasn't keen on people that don't really respond back. So can we discuss maybe, before we get into that, the responses of Bithead? Mm-hmm. Does he respond the way we like?
No. But he never has, Pete.
Go on, mate, sorry.
He never has.
No.
Even early days.
Does he respond to anyone?
No, he does, but early days, in one of his videos, he called me Took the Hook.
Sound like you're from Thailand.
And then someone asked to me, "Oh, Stu, that's you." I was like, "Really?" And that's why I actually put that to capitalise the "you" and the K at the end.
So you changed your channel name because of him?
Yeah.
Do you not think though, Tutti?
It made sense though, because he didn't actually to American people. He didn't read right. He thought he said "took the hook."
You should have replied back to that, Colin.
He has mentioned Tutti in videos, But the thing is, the element here is, people that have been watching years and years. Do you not think there may be Bithead? I'm just throwing this out there, right? Don't bite me fucking head off. Do you not think he has an element of entitlement? You've been watching me for years. You've got to pay now.
No. I don't think he gives a shit, to be honest, Pete. If you look at his earlier stuff, he was like me. He's always pissed up.
Well,
it's not until he's had his kids and he's had a family.
Would he give a shit? Would he give a shit? He clearly did give a shit because he was kind of going, "Listen, man, unless this is happening, I'm stopping it." So he knows that he's got an audience there. Okay.
Like you said now, it's almost emotional blackmail. Almost.
Oh, well, you tell me,
we love his show. We love his show. We love watching it, don't we?
But
we would want the show to stop.
No, it isn't almost emotional blackmail. Pete's right. It is emotional blackmail. You threaten to take something away from someone they enjoy watching.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm neither bothered here nor there because I won't fucking pay anyone for a YouTube channel.
Well, I bought his T-shirt and that was it. I don't expect many people in the UK. It cost me just as much in tax as it did for the fucking shirt.
Yeah, okay.
I must be a minority here because I'm not even sub to him. I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I don't really buy into Yankee yabbiting on like that.
He's not like a Yankee, though, mate. He's the only one that I can actually.
I get it. And he's brilliant. No, I totally get what he's doing and where he's coming from. However, like Dana said, there is the emotional blackmail element. Like,
yeah,
you know what? Unless I get a few coins for this, man, I'm gonna have to fucking pull back. Like, can anyone tell me otherwise or not?
Well, even as he sort of said that, he was gritting his teeth and sort of didn't wanted to backtrack on what he said. And I think that maybe by Stu calling him out a little bit in the comment section, you know, I mean, that might be why he hasn't got back. Because he's always been against Patreon.
But
he's not against it.
No, but he was he like.
Yeah, but his talk is all fucking waffle, Mike. It's waffle, mate. It's just chat, isn't it? It's just bollocks. Is that what you really believe? Now, listen. Don't get me wrong. I think Bithead 1000 is a fucking brilliant YouTube. One of the best, right?
Yeah.
Extremely entertaining. But what Stuart's saying here, I think, is about the hiding the reality.
Yeah.
So listen, man. Look, man. If he went out there and went, listen, I've been doing this for years. I want some money for it now. If you want to donate to me, brilliant. Yeah, that's it. I want some money for it. I feel as though it has value. It's value.
The difference is as well, what you haven't mentioned, like, which is another thing. He gets sent a hell of a lot of stuff for nothing.
Well, discuss that then, Michael.
Well, he does. Like, a lot of the videos are from people sending him stuff in with appreciation for the show. So they might not be giving stuff in monetary value, but they're giving stuff that's worth some.
But it's not enough. It's not enough though for him, is it? He still wants more. He still wants to pay you to pay. And he has uploaded a fucking hell of a lot of videos. And some of them are exceptional.
Oh, right. Yeah. I've watched every single thing he's done. I've watched every
Steve 1 and Steve 2, what do you think about it? Are you subbed to Bithead? Do you know who he is?
I was subbed years ago, and then I wasn't because some of his videos were just rants. But then one appeared on my feed, I don't know how recently, where he did the response to Gillette.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And I thought that was brilliant. So I have to say, so after that one, I resubbed him.
Yeah.
But was back on a comment about donations and things. I've had a few, not like fan donations, but for example, if a shop might give me 12 pairs of shoes to review, for example. So I had a year's worth of shoes, and every month I get another pair for free. I just review them.
Yeah.
So I've had things like that, but I was approached by that.
Yeah, that's not e-begging, Steve. That's not.
No, I'm saying about donations. It's because it was mentioned about donations. So that's a different type of donation, I think, because that's a corporate donation as well. So there's all sorts going on out there as well, you know.
Yeah, you're helping them out, Steve, by giving them free promotion. So you're doing them a favour by putting the video out there. You get the shoes. It's a win-win. But what we're trying to get at is Bithead was old school, blah 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 blah. Done all these amazing, great videos, very genuine, but never really responded to a lot of people. But then came to a point where he said, "Listen, I don't think I can do this shit anymore unless you start paying."
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you do? I mean, if people are going to pay and be influenced by that kind of shit, then I do pity. I mean, if you consciously do it to a couple of people, that's fine. I mean, again, it's a personal habit thing. Some people may not subscribe to Sky or whatever. They may not watch any TV. They might just be YouTube generation people that just watch YouTube. And instead of putting the money to Sky, they're happy to put their money to Patreon for half a dozen channels that they watch. It's up to them, isn't it?
No, I agree. I agree with that, but it's more about the begging element.
Yeah.
And is Bithead in there?
I can't comment on his bids because I've
You'll have to watch his
one
space,
thing.
won't you, with him? See what transpires down the line.
Like you say, it didn't show in. I mean, I like I say, he's my favourite channel, but it didn't show him in a good light when he said he might have to finish if he didn't do it.
No.
And that was what you pulled him up on, Stu, and it sort of didn't show him in a good light that he didn't come back to you.
No. So
he might not have even read it.
No, there's not that many comments that he wouldn't have read it.
I don't know. Maybe I don't. I say the jury's out. But I asked a question, and the question's never been answered. So I took it on face value, right?
Yeah.
And I've always said, and I keep saying to you guys here, there's a difference, and people keep. I don't know why they do it. They keep blurring the lines. What is he begging and what's like?
Yeah, what's
this, that, and the
Patreon?
other. It's Patreon. This, that, and the other. Patreon is not e-begging. Ads is not e-begging. There's a complete difference. If you look at, like I say, I'm not an expert on it. You look at people like Radical Rick, and I'm not keep banging on about the guy there, but he highlights them subliminal, subversive tactics that they use that are technically e-begging because it's guilting that subscriber base into thinking that these guys need your help. And they don't. They're on fucking tens of thousands of dollars in the US. It is more a US thing. They don't fucking need. But people do it. And I think one of the comments someone said.
Like you say, Metal Jesus' missus works in real estate. So she sells houses for a living. You know what I mean?
The thing is, it's all begging. Listen, as soon as you ask someone for something, right? If somebody asks someone for something to fucking elevate them, it is a form of asking. So you could maybe say it's begging.
Yeah, it is.
I look at it. It's all
Yeah, but
begging.
the way I see it,
It's begging.
it's not fucking illegal when anyone's doing that.
No,
It's
you're
not
right.
illegal.
It's not
morally wrong. It's morally wrong.
None of this is illegal. None of this is illegal. It's fucking moral. I would contest. It's morally fucking wrong.
Yeah, but there's fucking loads of things that's morally wrong. You know.
But why? But okay. But
you're never going to stop.
Should we as a community accept that then? Oh fuck it, let it fucking wrong then.
This is the bit then. This is the bit that gets sticky. Right, someone like Bithead, who we fucking love, right? Who we really get into, but he's begging, and he's even said he's begging. Right, he's begging, he's asking. Listen, well, I'm asking you to contribute, or I don't continue. Right, it's a threat. Okay, in one way, shape, or form, it's a threat. So it's a way of begging. Okay, and all the adverts are on there now. Boom, 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 boom. Right, fair enough. I don't disagree with it.
He's a cunt, isn't he? He hasn't even replied to Stuart's legitimate question.
It's basic capitalism, okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you can't say, well, he's right and he's wrong.
No.
Because this person who's done it, who we don't like, but this person's wicked, who we love,
no,
they're fucking same.
No, Pete, they're not. They're not. They are the same. They are the same. They are the same. I agree with you in terms of that directive, but their inception and their execution. If you look at Metal Jesus's team, if you want word to do it,
Metal Militia.
It's completely different to what Bithead's doing.
It's
they like, so on that Metal Jesus video where they sort of said, "Oh, you know, I'll what's it, fucking £30,000 to fix a fucking flood or whatever." whoever it was, and there were people in there that loved him, that were fucking like Metal Jesus fucking fans, and they were like structural engineers or whatever. Said, mate, what's his name? Jason, all you do is do this, do that, blah blah blah, and all their comments were deleted.
But then he had the rebuttal, didn't he? So Metal Jesus. No, hang on. Whoa. He had the rebuttal. Now, I don't know anything about structural engineering or fucking plumbing or how to get rid of a load of bloody waste fucking fluid. Listen, but the reality is, he definitely is an e-beggar. Let's not get that twisted. Metal Jesus is an e-beggar, right? But so's Bitted. Okay, they're in a different sort of league, if you like, but they're kind of here and there and there. Just wait.
No, it's not. No, Peter's not saying to you, Patreon is not e-begging.
What gets me as well,
asking every fucking video is begging, isn't it? So when you turn
No, it's not.
Well, we had this conversation last fucking stream, man. Basically, if they am begging, right, if there's people on the street begging, you don't have to chuck any fucking money in their fucking app.
Yeah, we've done this before, Pete.
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying any form of begging, if someone's asking for money, you don't have to give. It's fucking up to you, right? You know, and I agree with what you're saying. It's morally fucking wrong, yeah. And the only way to fight it is like Radical Rick, but the difference is they've got 100,000 subscribers and only 3,000 people are watching his video. He's not even scratching the surface, and probably the people who fucking donate and give money don't even watch his videos because they don't want to hear it, and you're never going to stop people being like that.
All I'm saying is, right, just to end, just my point here is that, yes, there is a difference between Bithead and Metal Jesus with the amount of begging that they do. Yeah. However,
still begging.
It's still begging. Bottom line.
Why don't you, Stuart? Why don't you unsub him till he replies to you at least?
Well, I got to work, is it?
You're not offense. You're fucking blow him off this Bithead, right? You're clearly thinking he's possibly e-begging, which is against every fucking rule in your book.
I didn't say that.
It is.
No, I've categorically said Patreon is not e-begging.
I'm not about Patreon. I'm not on about Patreon. I'm on about you thinking he's e-begging, you know?
No, I've not said that.
He's had a Patreon, which is sort of he's subliminally threatened if he didn't get money, he would take the channel down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where it sort of crosses a line.
No, but this is the whole point of it. People get confused between the fucking two things.
No, I'm not confused.
Patreon isn't e-begging. Patreon isn't e-begging.
By saying that if he didn't get any money, he would have to close the channel down. It's sort of emotional blackmail.
What I mean is, you're not happy with his story that he said behind it.
I just want to see Steve's point.
Mark.
I want to see Steve's point. He said fuck all.
Yeah, he said nothing. He's new Gareth.
To be honest, I don't mind Bithead, to be honest. I don't even particularly mind Metal Jesus, if I'm honest. I think Bithead I've watched Bithead for a few years now, and he always said he wanted to make it big. He thought when he was going to get on the tube, he was going to make it. So he's there for the fame. The way I look at it, I don't think there's any way of getting over e-begging. It's there. I just, you know me well enough now. I'm quite ignorant. I'm quite an ignorant person. Now, obviously, Bithead took like Tootie. Obviously, I know Tootie was going onto his Patreon and giving him some money to watch his stuff. Now, obviously, people that are on Metal Jesus's Patreon, they might feel the same about Metal Jesus than what Tootie does to Bithead. So I don't really see. Do you know what I mean? It's each to their own, isn't it? Like, why does it bother? Why does it bother anyone? Just let them get on with it.
But Steve, this is what I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm missing the fucking jot here. Patreon isn't e-begging.
Like I didn't say it was.
No, I know. But what you did say of Patreon, dear, and the people of Patreon, that's not what we're talking about. E-begging is it's completely different, subversive.
E-begging
is a subversive method of acquiring funds from individuals, which utilizes Patreon as a payment method. And that's what a lot of these people have been doing.
But do you not think, Stu, that he dipped his toe in with that by saying he would have to shut them from
That's what I mean. He's fucking done it.
Yeah, but that's not begging. That's basically that's a threat, isn't it?
It's emotional blackmail. Same thing.
Whatever. But you don't have to give the fucking guy any money, do you?
Stu's the only one giving him money.
What I'd say, right?
I bought a T-shirt. That cost me enough.
Let me bring a point up, right? Yeah. What I'll say, Stu, you watch that Radical Rick, yeah?
Yeah.
He pointed out Alpha Omega Sin was after money, and if he didn't, he was going to stop his channel, sort of thing. And that's kind of
what did Alpha Omega Sin do? He put all his videos behind the paywall.
Oh, no, but that's what I'm saying. He took the channel away, and that's kind of what Bithead friend. That's all I'm saying as a neutral who gives no fucks.
Totally. Listen, guys, let's move on, man.
Yeah, Marcus. Next question. Next.
I'll make them. Bear with.
I can't get over to you keep calling Mark Marcus. What's that about?
All right, I like it. It's more classy.
Oh,
it's not as northern.
You're Mark to me, and my mate Marcus is Marcus.
Etiquette, stroke nerdish, stroke childish to play video games.
No.
I didn't even hear the question, to be honest.
Well, fucking clean out your ears then. Right.
Reading the
comments. Come on.
Is it geeky, stroke nerdy, stroke childish to play video games?
Yeah, but, you know, Peter Pan didn't grow up, so let's fucking get on with it.
No, you say it keeps you young, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, we're all fucking doing great off the back of it, didn't we?
What's
when
that?
people say we're trying to cling on to us or recreate his childhood, I think it has got some mileage, that, to be fair.
Oh, it
I wish I could go. I wish I could go back to late 80s, early 90s now, without a doubt. And I think video games it's that portal, isn't it? It takes you straight back.
It takes you back to the time where a £5 would last you a week. You had no responsibilities. Do you know what I mean? And everything was all good, wasn't it?
You know it, Michael.
I wish a £5 would last me a week, mate. It gets you one drink out this way.
I heard going up fucking Bradford High Street just takes you back to the 80s and 90s. It's not fucking evolved.
You're not cleaning my CPC 464 up, fucker.
What do you think, Steve?
It is not about childish. It's not childish, is it? But it's a bit geeky. I still don't think it's fully shook the stigma of being a bit of a, bedroom.
Are you still getting bullied by your mates?
By my missus. By my missus. She don't get it. She fucking hates the hobby and everything to do with it.
What really hates it?
Yeah.
Get rid.
With the passion. With the passion. She says it's pathetic and it grow up.
Get fucking rid. I don't mean of the collection.
Mark, doesn't she see how happy it makes you?
She did it till 3.
She sees how much your bank balance is dwindling.
Things like you can see when Mark talks about certain things in the past and games and covers and artwork and things, he talks with a passion. Do you know what I mean? So I think
I must admit it took me years to actually realise that retro gaming, sort of specifically, it's a lifestyle for me now, and I wouldn't ever give it up. Can't. It's a hobby, but it's a lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
And, there's a community to back that up. I know that. But I love it. I can't, if a day goes by where I don't get to play at least something, I almost feel like I've been, I'm starving myself a little bit, So, yeah, it's going to stay in my life.
It's just,
I don't necessarily play every day, but I think that we all, as a group, communicate with each other every single day. Don't we?
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's not childish. That was the original question, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's childish. I mean, when you think of like modern gaming, most modern gaming, they're mostly 18 plus now, aren't they? All these games. I know, obviously, younger kids play them, but they are aimed at older people.
Yeah.
But it's definitely geeky. It's definitely a bit geeky. I'll put my hands up to that. I mean, when I look at my garage, I've converted my garage.
I don't think it is geeky anymore. It's
I definitely think it's a bit geeky.
Don't you think this has the same?
The original PlayStation, it's become acceptable
Yeah, it's still a bit geeky though, Mike. It's still a bit geeky.
Go on, Steve. What are you saying, friend?
I'm just saying it's still a little bit. When I look at my collection, I definitely look at and think, yeah, I'm a geek, definitely a geek.
It
I
is
mean,
a
I've
little
got it
bit.
in my garage. I could sell all this stuff and get, I don't know, like a lovely like Nissan Skyline in here and rip it up. But no, I'm a bit geeky.
What I'd say is this hobby's probably got the same stigma that model train building had fucking 34 years ago.
No, that's it.
That old man in the loft.
Spot
I
on
don't
that.
think it's quite like that. I don't
know. I don't think it's that bad. Like you said the other day, Dane, yourself, when you meet anyone on site and you say you sell retro video games and that, they spark a conversation.
I think
if you went and said I collect Hornby Intercity 125s, how many of the guys on site are going to walk the opposite direction?
Yeah, but I think it's
Yeah, but they wouldn't have done back in the day, Michael.
No, I'm just saying it's like, you know, if they were all in their 60s and they were having that conversation,
It's relevant, isn't it? Relevant to the timeline.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's that sort of timeline now, like, you know.
Well,
30 years ago, it's been changed.
Just that other thing, like, I mean, we were talking the other day. I think we were talking in our chat thing. Really, like you say, I think Stuart was saying the same point as well. Mega Drive made gaming mainstream. They sort of aimed at a higher and older market, didn't they? And like you say, PlayStation took that and run with that. And since that, gaming has been aimed at adults.
Yeah.
It's only Nintendo that has stuck with like children's gaming. But I mean, Nintendo's never gone away from.
I mean, I think we're having an antiquated argument regarding childishness. I think that's an argument for when in the 90s when the mainstream media was dipping their toes into gaming and they were saying, "Oh, it's for kids and stuff." I don't think the childishness argument is relevant these days. I think the average game is like 35 or something. Like that.
35.
Eliminate that.
Yeah, that's changed because when we were, say, like 13, 14 years old, you probably didn't get as many adults playing video games, did you?
Well, because there were no adults that grew up with video games.
No, that's it. Yeah.
I actually, if you look back at the early 90s and stuff or whatever, if you transpose this to the music industry, someone just had a fart there. Who was that?
It's all right.
Who was that?
I thought that was you.
No, it wasn't. It was you bastard.
It was me. It was
the highlight of the stream. That was the highlight of the stream.
That was loud.
Carry on, Steve. Carry on.
Yeah, sorry, but I would transpose this to where the music industry might have been in the early 90s, where you had, and maybe the film collectors as well, where you had the niche guys that would buy Laserdisc movies, and there'd always be, if you went to Our Price Video back in early 90s,
Our Price, wow,
there'd always be a little geeky corner, wouldn't there, with Laserdiscs?
Yeah, there
You know
was.
what I mean? And there'd always be a well, it died out actually, but there'd always be vinyl collectors, and I know it's made a resurgence. And it's not directly related, but it's the kind of niche retro from the early. If you think about the early 90s, the people that were about our age into vinyl, where everyone else is buying CDs, is because they grew up with the vinyl.
Yeah,
now, we grew up with these games. So,
what year were you born in, Steve?
Yeah. Sorry,
1945.
What year were you born in?
78.
Fuck off.
When you say that, gone full cycle with films as well, like how there's been remakes of Ghostbusters there's going to be and stuff like that. It's like old stuff's just being recycled because it's that generation that want to watch it now. Like Power Rangers was released 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's towing the mainstream, you know. It has.
What do you guys think? Like, I mean, like, we're going on to a totally different thing now, but like with films in the 80s and that, the films in the 80s were just so fantastically class. There's not been anything that's compared to that.
You can't recreate the 80s, Mike.
But what I'm saying is that films there were so many films that hit the mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you name?
I reckon in 1980 whatever, There was someone who was 30 odd years old saying these films are shit. The ones in the 60s were brilliant.
Of course they were. To be fair, right, in some respects, okay, they are correct. No. It depends on the genre of the film. Up until Gladiator and Braveheart in the 90s and stuff, the epic movie, the old historical epic, had been lost. Right, the 80s was very, very good at like action films and things like that. But
horror, it was really
they did lose sight of
when you take that back to VHS though, and every film being an hour and a half long, and it was a much more streamlined and attention span. Whereas now
they weren't epics.
Don't you think like basically 80s films and all that generally come down to like a tale of good versus evil? What being right is, like Ghostbusters, Back to the
80s.
But they're feel-good films, aren't they? That are about
the term popcorn flick really is born out of the 80s. You know what I mean? You can go in, you'll have a really good time watching it, and it will be a good film. But at the end of the day, is it that deep? Where if you
YouTube as well.
It can be. The reality is, in the 80s, all right, we still had amazing movies right up until the mid 90s. Okay, so you got a director like Martin Scorsese, who did, who's responsible for a hell of a lot. I'm trying to eat some bloody soup here.
Oh, you're not touched to Gareth, are you?
I know I have. A look at this soup.
What, you trying to eat soup?
Look, it's all on my chin.
One of my favourite films. He's done the Usual Suspects, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a great film. Great film.
Don't you think the 80s off, like I keep saying, like the horror genre, right? There's no scary films now. When I watch an 80s horror film, something like Omen, they were genuinely had that fucking scary vibe. Where now,
80s, my friend, not 80s.
Sorry. Well, you know what I mean, though. You know what I mean? Very late 70s, I want it.
I can't watch horrors. It gives me night terrors.
What I think what you're getting at here is political correctness, actually, to a degree. And at some point, it's correct. At some point,
everything was better when you were younger.
At some point, okay, between the progressives getting in, all right, in the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, they dismantled film. So what they wanted to do is make things, more economically viable. Am I even here? Fuck it.
Pete, I'm calling.
Carry on. You're the one that's having the opinion on this one.
Am I muted? I don't know.
No,
I'm muting a minute.
Yeah.
You need fucking.
You're listening because you were talking.
I need it.
No, it all boils down to is everything seemed better when you were a kid and you look at everything with rose-tinted glasses.
Of course they do, yes.
It's fuck all to do with political correctness.
Oh, it is. Okay then, Dane. You tell me then. No, it's just crap. So kids today, are they going to see the same models, the same fucking whole hero, the protagonist, the antagonist in a movie? Yeah, you might see it, but it's going to be a theme. No, they're going to fucking inject social fucking justice. Carry on.
No, it's bollocks, because you can guarantee in the 80s the parents disapproved with everything we were watching, and they were going, "This hasn't got the same wholesome
my point is, let me just answer that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a difference now between the heroic character in the 80s and the heroic character now? Okay, let's just talk the Last Jedi or whatever. Okay, the heroic character is a female. A heroic character. Yes, there is, Michael. Why is there an issue with that? Because men are stronger than women by fucking scientific fact, my friend.
Okay, so you're having a science fiction film where people use lasers of swords, and you're trying to fucking apply logic. It's to do with the mind power and apparently
beyond that, it's about knowing what this is doing. It's just social justice infiltrating the mass.
Yes.
Guys, knocking on the head. Mark, next one. Move the fuck on. Enough of that shit.
Is Steve wants us to discuss gamer girl tubers.
Go on, Steve.
Welcome, Steve.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a joke, to be honest.
It's on the table, boy.
That's your top 5 channels, Steve.
Who's that new zombie one? I thought we could get her on the stream.
Zombie.
No.
She's fit.
I think G's got a number.
Yeah, we'll get her on the stream.
She's local to me and Gareth as well.
Is she?
Yeah.
Is she now?
Yeah, tap her up. We'll get her on.
So, are there any game channels with? Well, there is. Yeah, there is, isn't there? Like,
Mike. No, you're stealing Steve's thunder here. Steve needs to explain himself.
Yeah, go on, then, Steve.
I don't know what you mean, mate. I mean, what was the question? No, come on. What was the question? Did I say discuss our favourites? Didn't I? Did I say discuss our favourites?
Discuss.
You watch
we fancy.
You've been known to watch a certain
number of channels.
Spectrum-inspired individual that does covers Spectrum
Funky
gaming.
Spectrum.
Your hatred for the Spectrum computer is more than obvious, like, you know. So how could you watch that channel?
Funky Spectrum.
She does a lot of good content. To be fair, I don't particularly mind her. I don't particularly like the Spectrum stuff, but when she was drunk playing the Amiga, I quite like that. I didn't mind it.
Who's that?
Got one Spectrum video, one Amiga video. All the others have been Spectrum.
Yeah, that's the only one I've watched.
I've seen you comment in several of her videos, I think.
You need to see your views.
And presented yourself at Revival.
I did.
Presented yourself.
Yeah, introduced myself. Yeah, scared her off.
How's got this ginger cock?
On Friday, man.
There was a girl tuber that
Steve's on the bloody spot and he feels awkward.
With a girl tuber
Is it of the stream?
Is there okay? Like, is there some genuine retro gaming girl channels that?
Dylan mentioned one.
I think Holster's a good gaming channel. She's right into her games, isn't she?
Yeah.
Quite new. Squid Gaming is good.
Who's that again?
To her for a while. Squid Gaming.
It might have been you that mentioned it actually, Steve, last week or the week.
Yeah, she's very good. She's
Squid Gaming. Pro Squid Gaming.
Very good.
Yeah.
There used to be the one called Virgin Gamers, wasn't there?
Yeah, they're still around. They're good girls, yeah.
They're sort of like, you know, we're all like sort of girls that don't sort of sexualise their channels, like, you know.
They're not virgins, by the way. Did you know, Steve?
knows this, honestly.
No, the whole pun with that is they haven't played that particular game before, have they? So they were into those games.
No, they're good girls, actually. They do interact quite a bit. So.
Is that girl from Derby? Isn't
it so sad that they've got to use sort of wording like this?
Exactly.
To draw in a male fucking audience. It's fucking not on. I mean,
it's standing on its own 2 legs. Yeah.
But they've got to because they're the weaker sex and not allowed to star in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say there is a difference between the maternal woman and the male patriarch, right? So it goes way deeper than this. What I'm talking about here is respect, okay?
Yeah.
He's talking about having some respect for yourself. If you enjoy gaming, okay, and you're a female, okay, what are you going to fucking watch? Fucking all these twats that fucking have the tits out and shit. It's not. It's like I was saying about the black guys.
Like you
It's
say,
all
it's
stereotypes.
isn't it?
It's all stereotypes, man. What about having something positive? Not fucking. Not. I'm not talking at all here about being some sort of SJW fucking twat with the rams it down your throat. Just some positive vibes, man.
Someone to aspire to, someone to have a role model.
Correct.
You know?
That's it. That's
Because
it.
like
That
you
is
said,
I tell you what, there's a few guys are fucking role model. Anyway, Mark, moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
she's been on the sauce. Did that fart grassed you up, Stu, didn't it? I think he tried to slip that one out.
You blew off, Stuart. Well done. Much obliged.
Arcade Club meetup.
It's going to be great.
Thoughts, discussions.
I can't wait. I've never been there before. Steve says it's fantastic. He really flies the flag for the place. And it's also supposed to be rated the best arcade in Europe. Is that right?
Steven.
It's the biggest one in Europe. It's the biggest one in Europe. So yeah, I'll definitely say it's the best.
Is that right? Is that right? There's another one opening, Steve.
There is, yes, opening down your way, actually, Leeds.
Yeah.
And I believe that's soon. I think that's like within like the next month or something.
Really?
Well, the next month. Oh, that's shit. Because we could have gone to that for the opening night, couldn't we?
Yeah, it's opening very soon. And I've actually heard of a third one opening as well. I don't know where that is, but yeah, Andy up there, he's doing really well. He's doing really well.
He's down south.
Before we know it, there'll be arcades everywhere like when we were kids.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, and Andy at Arcade Club, he's buying everything. I think he's upsetting a lot of the purist collectors because he's literally just buying up everything. And fair play to him, to be honest. Like,
that's a good thing, though, isn't it? So rather than just a collector having a game to themselves, it's open for the masses to use and play and enjoy.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. But those who haven't been to Arcade Club before, don't wear anything too hot. It gets so hot in there.
This is what I'm hearing. It's got no windows and no air.
Yeah, and you imagine all them CRTs going, it's red hot.
I've been there before. It's very good.
Is it got aircon now, Steve, or no?
I think there's a few dotted around, but not much.
No, not all that heat coming off all the machines.
Yeah.
And it's a heavy concrete old mill, isn't it? So,
yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's fantastic though. It's gonna be a good meet.
Yeah, it should be. Like I say, but the heat may be a little. That's all right. There's places you can get out of it, and then if you need a bit of breath, you just go in the car park for a bit, innit?
Yeah, and they've always got like loads of deodorant as well in the toilets. So,
right, I'm going to go back upwards because there's fucking too many comments here. We're going back from Arcade Club up. Cheap beer from Retro and Steve. Arcade Club hype from Gloria to Scott. Arcade Club is fucking amazing. The next weekend and on after from Pete. On a retro tip, Gebs is consistent with her uploads. Generally enjoy her videos from Scotty Thompson. Do you know what? With Gebs, I have no real problem with Gemma, other than her being a fucking absolute
cunt.
No, it's just
right.
Fucking from a lesbian point of view. Massive chip on her fucking shoulder. That's what does my head in.
At least she attends the events, though.
Yeah, she's a collector. Got no problem with that. But the fucking the whole gay angle, he just wears thin on me.
The only thing I don't know, like I say, I don't know because I don't know myself. But we have heard that she's said about, you know, give me discount and I'll give you a shout out on my video. I think that's not good. That's not a good look.
Yeah, it's a known thing. She goes to vendors and says, give me 50% discount and I'll shout you out on my preferred sellers list. Fuck off, bitch. It's not a good form.
No, it's not a good look, is it? Right, like it's like, you know.
I'm going back up now.
She's a dreadful representation of lesbian gamers. You know what I mean? I mean,
It's like-
she's fucking the worst.
Lesbian,
No, I totally get it, man. She's despicable.
It's
Because
less than that. It's less than that because what she's doing is she's preying to a predominantly male environment with a view that they're into something or they're onto something.
It's the
But actually no fucking chance whatsoever. And these guys are probably like donating or giving stuff with a view that they're going to meet her or do whatever. And it's like, just stop propagating yourself in that aspect because you're not propagating yourself to the male species.
This is where my point is, though, Susie. It's like, is there something decent that a girl could watch that could go, yeah, man, you represent me or something similar? They're either a load of slags, a load of fucking dykes, a load of cunts, or fucking wankers, or total fucking narrow-minded lefties. That's what I'm trying to get at here, man. There's
Why
nothing.
can't you just be who you are? Like Miss Mad Lemon, right? She's a Dutch lady. She's a Dutch lady that there's Amiga stuff, and she's got loads of subs, right? She didn't get fucking tits out. She didn't get fucking legs out. She's just who she is.
I agree with you. So there are them there. Isn't it a shame that they're not? We don't discuss them. Isn't it a shame that they're
exactly.
positive role models for young kids, young girls in particular?
She's not British. It's the British fucking thing and the American way. They have to show themselves.
I don't buy it's that. I mean, I followed Squid Game for a while. She's very good.
Mate, she's fucking fit as fuck. That's the only reason why you follow her, Steve.
No. But she doesn't flaunt herself with she's not going to make herself look unattractive, is she, on purpose?
What gets me right is we're sat here saying all these people need different representatives when there isn't a different person among us on this fucking stream other than Steve.
The fucking differentiation here. Join in old school variety face.
Steve's ginger.
That's what I said. Steve's ginger. He's the only minority we've got.
It's bullshit.
You're a lovely cunt.
Yeah, well, it don't matter.
Mate, I'm handsome.
Well, the thing is, there is a difference in opinion. There's like going along with the mainstream bullshit that you're told, or there's thinking for yourself. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
I don't get you though, Pete, man, because you moan that we have these, women representatives, lead role models and stuff forced down our throat, and then you're asking why there isn't people doing it. You're like fucking.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get, you're missing the point, Dane. What I'm trying to say is that they are throwing down your throat a certain way of being. So if you're a young kid, a young girl, you're going to watch this and go, well, I've got to sex myself up, or I've got to be a dyke, or perfectly, you're just going to be normal. Just be genuine. Just be you.
Kids don't look at things how
yes, they fucking do, Dana. That's the point.
What you see is what becomes normality.
Okay, so who, when I was a kid, had stupid hair like this and a fucking beard? No one.
Your dad.
Who knows in 20 years a trend, Dave?
I don't manipulate how I turn out, man. I've got my own free thinking mind.
Yeah, but that's you, Dane. Listen. That wasn't accepted then. If you had a stupid haircut, you're going to get smashed up. You're going to get slapped up. I guarantee it. If you had anything different from the norm back in the day, but then it went into you've got to be different. So everyone's got to be fucking different. They've got to be this. They've got to be that. So there's nobody just sort of straightforward. So there are all these different kind of fucking sections of society that we've got to look after, but not the normal people.
Who are the normal people?
The normal people, Daniel, is someone who just wants to get on. They're not bullied, not lesbian. They're just a whatever. They're not homosexual. They're not black, white. It doesn't matter really what they are, but they just get along.
Look, just like you say,
don't throw down in your face what they represent. They just get on with it.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I liked R-Type, but I didn't want to be a rocket ship.
I like R-Type, but I thought you had to collect the bullets.
Dana, what are you bringing to Arcade Club then? Have you got a list of what you're bringing?
Yeah, it's fucking bitching us.
A sense of normality, I hope, man.
Fuck off. You're not normal.
Jesus, we're in trouble then, aren't we?
What
If we're
time?
relying on Dana
What
for
time are you guys getting there on the Friday?
Early.
I'm gonna get there, mate. I don't know.
o'clock.
None of my mates drive me,
Time's
so
it
it's
open?
fine.
What time's it open?
10 o'clock.
In the morning.
I've got the day off work, so me and Gareth will be setting it early.
Pub opens at 12.
Yeah, I'll be getting there mid-afternoon, I think. So.
I mean, I better get there about 9 at night.
It'll be shit by the time you get home, Mike.
Cheers, Joe.
Your mate.
Is that room still available? What Gregor on about?
Yeah, but you can't. You have to book it still straight online, don't you?
Next,
You can't.
next question, Mark. What's the next question?
I don't fucking know. Future events, stroke shows, plans for this year.
Well, Danester's the one for this one, isn't he?
I'm not going to any anymore. Fucking.
Well, Birmingham's announced that retro game show.
Yeah.
Yep. And I've heard in the chat tonight that Blackpool's staying at the Norbreck, someone put earlier.
Oh,
Of course
Jesus.
So it nearly clashes with the London one, though, doesn't it?
I thought it was going to be the Winter Gardens this year.
Yeah.
I've left my diary downstairs with all the dates written for the events, man. Shall I go and get it?
Yeah,
I've got it here. Yeah,
Oh, you've got it.
Yeah, I've got it here. Hang on, bear with.
Go on then.
Hang on, I'm just trying to find it. Give me.
Dana is a cunt.
Doncaster's the first one here.
Doncaster, 3rd of March.
Yeah, I'm booked in there.
Then
Come
it's
by my shoe.
London Video Game Market on the 17th of March.
No, I think there's one before. Oh no, that's a local one for me. That is the you lot won't know about.
Then you've got Play Expo 4th and 5th of May.
Yep.
And there's Revival 15th,
Yeah,
16th of June.
Booked in
So
there.
we'll all be definitely going to Revival, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's that Play Expo in early May? Is that the Blackpool one?
Manchester.
Oh, Manchester.
Glasgow's been announced as well, but I didn't look like it's in fucking Scotland.
Hey, when's Glasgow? Glasgow's happening. When's that?
It would be good to go to Glasgow just to check it out, wouldn't it?
Well, that's happening. When is it?
It ain't on my list. Fucking hell, Mike. If you were going to Glasgow, you need to catch an aeroplane from Bristol, mate.
It'd probably be cheaper, mate.
Isn't Nerg down there as well? I think I had the dates for Nerg, didn't I?
Not on this list. You didn't give me.
Did I not? I've got the dates.
That's Glasgow old school.
That's more important to you as well, Mark.
It jumps to
because you got a bit of connection with that there, haven't you?
Listen, you can't tell you what, dude. You fucking, I swear to God, I'll bash your fucking brains in you.
I think Nerg. Don't quote me, but I think it's August. Maybe a little bit later than that. I'm just trying to northeast, so that's more your way, innit?
We've got anything in the southwest at all. We got Bristol Retro Gaming Market.
Bristol's not been confirmed yet. The dates or anything.
Fucking bastards.
I think he's only. I don't know if he's only going to have one there. You know.
Mike, I've got one down in Truro. It's just out of an estate car boot. Is that all right for you?
Fucking hell.
Literally, guys, whenever I find out the dates, I'll add them in the group because
Revival Southwest, Craig. Come on.
What's it called? I've not got any dates for the Leeds one other than the one that when we were all at Bury, so I didn't even bother booking.
Is Revival at the Bestcott again?
It's at the Bestcott as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'll go to that one.
There was talk he was going to go back to Dunstall Park, was it? Is it Dunstall?
I thought it was well, I don't want to say too much because the
horse racing place. There was talk it was going to go back there.
You can say it. Like, yeah, he did say something about the dog track, wasn't it?
No, not dogs. Horse racing.
Handy.
Oh, it's horse racing, was it? I thought it was a dog track.
No, horse racing. But as far as I'm concerned, I think he's got more space again at the Bestcott. And he's got a date. I
The
think
thing
he's got
you were
a
saying
date.
with the horse racing places, it's all on one floor and one level, wasn't it?
I think he's got a date when the Bescott Market's on as well, because there was obviously a lot of detraction from going on the Sunday because of the market
Yeah.
with the parking and that. I'm pretty sure, without checking through my phone, which I'm recording on, I couldn't tell you the inside notes I've got without knowing that.
But
Right.
it looks like here, Doncaster has 3 a year now.
No, 2, I think.
Well, there's one in June 29th as well.
Is that?
Do you,
Well, I
think,
got that written down.
do you think there's too many nowadays with the markets?
No.
Oh, it's supply and demand, isn't it? Supply and demand.
I
So
think there's
I
too
know, but
many in
it's
the
like-
same place. I think each area should have one each month dotted around the country would be the best way to do it. In my own personal opinion.
Yeah, I just think there should. I mean, it's nothing. It's such. There's nothing down our way. It's just a Bristol.
You know why? You know why, Mike? Because you fucking Bristolians, or whatever you want to call yourself, are tight as fuck.
No,
You've not paid for a
you
full
know what
price
about
game
bank?
of me ever. You've never paid full price.
Has anyone been to this London video game market?
Nah, I'm trying that this year.
Yeah, I've been to it.
Steve really enjoyed it, didn't you, Steve?
What's that?
You really enjoyed it, didn't you?
No, that wasn't that one. That was a Play Expo I went to.
No, you said it's like going around in the dark, wasn't it? Is that you?
No, that was Play Expo. That wasn't the video game market. That was Play Expo. No, the video game market's all right, but as I say, being in London, it's expensive.
I have heard, Steve, I can put my prices up in London because everyone else
can.
is.
Yeah.
Some tables are a little dearer, but I've heard like people are prepared to pay a bit more. So
Not that London tax.
20%, in my experience.
Right?
Of everything.
See, I'm thinking of trying London this year because I bought that car the back end of last year that I used predominantly for the events and for like commuting to work when I'm not using my main work van. So I need to get as much back out of them.
Parking for your traders though there?
You are?
Have they got parking for the traders? Because I was just thinking any extra you make, you might lose out on bloody parking if you got paid.
No, it's usually on a Sunday, so it's free parking anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say most are on a Sunday, and they usually allow some sort of parking for all the traders anyway, because otherwise, other than Bristol, you're paying a tenner at Bristol for parking.
Yeah.
Then if you need a labourer again, you know where to come.
Yeah, sound. Bring your PS2 tap.
It's all gone. I'll do it for laugh, mate. It were a good crack on it.
Do it for the
It's
love.
on a free wristband, don't you, to buy them Mega Drive games? Only buy the ones you can touch.
Fucking hell.
You bastard. You know what? That bunch of games, they want any Mega Drive in it. They want any Mega Drive. No, it were all super.
All in it by all counts.
I know it were 32X, Super NES, PS1.
Yeah, Mark, you need any of these?
God.
Come.
Stu's gone all serious now. He's not knowing where he's selling. Where are you selling, Stu?
Stu's still fuming about Bithead. Fucking.
Sorry, no.
He sound like fucking Bully then.
Can't beat a bit, Bully.
Mark, hey, is that?
Game for two in the bed. Let's have a look at what you could have won. Bring out the speedboat. Bum, 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 bum.
How many
We're not going at Donny. We're going to be at Donny in
March?
June, July, whatever. No, not March. No.
Have any of you guys seen the Jim Bowen when he's talking about the worst time with Bully? And there's a couple of Irish lads and they're absolutely hammered.
Yes, that is brilliant, Mike. Yes.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
That is.
He slips him a tenner, doesn't he? And then to go on.
That is amazing. Yeah.
It's a wicked story, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Right, Stuart, is there any comments? Because I'm going to have to do chips soon.
Fucking hell, comments, there's loads.
They're all talking about how much they've paid for hotels.
Yeah.
And prostitutes.
I might just crash at Mike's in Mike's room. Fuck it.
You can put there's a
Don't
space
do
on the
that.
floor, mate.
Don't do that unless you're prepared to have a scrap.
Mark,
I'm
why
up.
don't you just
Let's
buy
just go.
fucking Craig's fucking room? I know he's only got a cot in there.
Unless you put, I get you now, old school.
Fucking, what's it called?
Like you say, I was the only one who actually physically assaulted anyone.
I don't really think
Fucking
of substance. This is
Playground.
basically talk about arcade club and the stuff. Mark, next question, if we have one.
We've maxed them out.
Well, that's a good one then. But looking at the time, nearly half 11. That'll do us.
Fucking hell, we've actually got all the questions answered in time.
Yeah.
And Steve's been like the new Lewis / Gareth.
Lewis.
To be fair, boys, you do talk a lot.
Of shit. I'll finish the sentence, Steve.
You do talk a lot. It's hard to get a word in, man.
You can't get a word in
about
without fucking
You just got to shout over everyone else and get your point through.
You got to have a big cock, Steve. That's the problem.
Is that what it is? I'm
Yeah.
fucked then, man. I'm fucked.
I bet
Literally.
you that fucking floppy drive that you want's going to be in the bottom bastard box of all my stuff, you know.
Anyway, look.
Have you retrobrighted it?
Yeah.
You have.
It's
Yeah.
all like a vanilla fucking brown. Isn't
A
it?
retro show.
On that note, I love you and leave you guys. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Later.